Hello, 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 and welcome everybody. Okay, let me just get in here. Okay, what is going on? Hang on a second here. Okay, let's see if that worked. There we go. We got people coming in now. Hello, good morning, Nana. Nice to see you. I thought I was going to have to go out and come back in and do all that funky stuff. But it looks like it is getting out there to everybody. There's Sister Sandra. Good morning. Sister, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are from. Crystal, hello, hello, and welcome. So we're going to go over a little bit today, you guys. I am back after having a lot of things going on in personal life. Okay, let me just make sure we're back up over here. Your activity. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we're going to go over a few things. I've got all the documents now on the lawsuit that was filed. Yes, please hit that like button on your way in. I have all the paperwork, including the exhibits in the case that was filed in the Sebastian Rogers case. So I have all that. We'll go over it briefly so you guys can see exactly what it's about. Yes, I have missed you too. How is Mama? And Nina says, how is Mama? Well, let's get that out of the way. Mama is doing so much better. I spoke with her earlier, and she is sounding so much better. They are going to be transferring her out of the Heart Institute back into the hospital. She's going to have to go through a bunch of stuff to get back her strength. But they just had the chairlift installed on the house, so she can get from like the living room, kitchen area up the stairs into the bathroom and bedroom area. So that is all done. That was installed this morning. So when she is released and can come home, we're not going to have to worry about her doing the stairs or falling on the stairs or anything like that. Dacia do, hello. It was a touch and go there for a bit. I'll put this back up so everybody knows what we're talking about. It was touch and go there for a bit. She had another massive heart attack last week while in the hospital, but they've got a stent in now. She's getting her strength back. She's been able to get up and get in the shower with help from the nurses. They've got her up walking and, getting her to sit up and eat instead of being in the bed. And once they got her up doing that stuff, she started, getting a lot stronger, right? So they've taken out the catheters. They still have, I believe, one drainage thing in because she had fluid building up around her heart. I know they took the other catheter out that was draining her lung. So, I mean, things are getting better. She is getting better. It's just a process now. So, oh, well, thank you, Kat H. And thank you, Nana. So we are hoping, they're hoping to get her back into the regular hospital this weekend. And hopefully by the end of next week, she's home, which is kind of working in our favor now because we finally got our driveway opened yesterday. It's still all gravel and everything, but they are going to start paving the street and our driveways next week too. So that should be done before Mama gets home too. So she's not going to have to climb through all this garbage that's been out there we've been dealing with this for 6 months now. So it's going to be all nice and new when she comes home. I've cleaned her house from top to bottom. You guys know she lives right next door to me. I've cleaned her place and did all the bedding, and so it's all nice and fresh for her when she gets home. Thank you, Dacia Do. I so much appreciate that. Carol, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Yes, it is great. It's been great news. She sounded so much better than she has. And the worst part is, you guys, this happened on her birthday. So I'm going to have to, once she's got her strength back and everything, I'm going to have to do something really, really special for her. So, okay. So with that out of the way, I do really appreciate each and every one of you. So if you've been wondering why I haven't been online, Amy, thank you so much. It means so much to me. Without you guys and all your prayers and well wishes and everything, prayer goes a long way. I truly believe that. It doesn't matter what religion you're in, what you want to believe in, totally up to you. I respect and appreciate each and every one of you for every prayer, every well wish, everything that you guys have sent my mom's way. So I do really appreciate that, and it means the world to both of us. I let her know that you guys were all praying for her and sending the wishes, and she so much appreciates it. I hope to get her on camera when she's strong enough to come next door here once she's home, and she can say hello to all you guys. You know, I've had her over a couple times and have said hello. She's been in chat many times during our lives. So I hope to get her to do that and say hello and thank you right from her to all of you who have been so gracious and so loving and so kind. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Prayer goes a long way, you guys. Okay, so let's get on with the Leilani Simon, found guilty on all charges. I think there was like 19 charges of her making false statements, lying to the police, filing a false police report, and for the red drum of little baby Quentin. Finally, justice for Quentin. I was watching parts of, Leilani. I love that. I love that. I was watching parts of the trial when I could. There was, a few hours here and there that I just sit down and diamond paint and just try to, get my mind off of everything that was going on in the real life here, right? I just didn't feel I was in the right mind frame to go live. Even the readings, I missed a week for the mini reads that we do every Sunday, which we'll be doing tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, live right here. If you'd like a mini read for yourself, come on in, or ask a question, come on in, and we'll be doing that live tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. We are back with that too. Now that my mind is at ease, a weight's been taken off my shoulders. The stress level is way down now. I'm back in the right mindset to go full force again. So I hope you all join me tomorrow. If you guys want your very own mini read or ask a question, come on and see us 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Make sure you're subscribed and you got all your notifications on, the bell set to all, and you will see when we go live at 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. And to do those mini reads. Carol says, yay, guilty was the only answer. Yeah, I was a little worried there for a while. I was kind of watching the verdict watch, and Every time I could hear court was back, and running to my computer as I was trying to get other things done around the house. Just for them, there was some really, how can I say it, odd behavior coming from this jury. They sent a note out to the judge. We want to know what time lunch is going to be. We want to know if, and then the next one, we want to know if we're going to get drinks. And then another one, one of the jurors had brought their own meal. They want to know if they can get it warmed up. Like really, I don't know. I was taken aback because letters being sent out from the jury is usually, reserved for if you need, more information, if you want to rewatch a video. It has to do with the case. You know what I mean? So it's kind of set back. The first time I ever seen anything like that. So I was kind of dumbfounded, kind of like turning my head sideways on that one. But it is what it is. They came back with the verdict of guilty on all counts. And she will probably spend the rest of her life in prison. Um, you know, there's still something that's really bothering me. We're never going to get an answer from her, at least not now, as to exactly what happened, anything like that. And even if she appeals and has another trial and she's found guilty again, even with all of that, there's going to be one thing she can never answer, is where is the rest of this little boy's remains? We know where it is. It's somewhere in that landfill. This little boy, they only found pieces of him. His remains will never be whole. And I have my own opinions on stuff like that. He's a child, and God works in mysterious ways, right? I just feel the way she disposed of him, and even in death, this little boy is never going to be whole. You know what I mean? I hope and pray on the other side that he gets that wholeness back, that the good Lord gives him that, because we know in the physical world here, even, putting him into a little tomb or burying his remains, he's never going to be whole here in the physical world, and that is the saddest thing. And nobody can give us that. Nobody. There's nothing even Leilani can say or do to help us find the rest of his little body, and that's I'm going to end up in tears here, but that's sad. That's very, very sad. I'm hearing through the grapevine that BJ, Leilani's mother, is fighting to get his remains. And there's a court battle going on with that. So Carol says, yes, his soul is in heaven. Yes, it is. It's so sad. But God holds his entirety. Absolutely. And I pray that this little boy is shown finally on the other side some love and compassion and empathy, and that those that have passed before us hold him and wrap their arms around him and love this little boy. So I do feel now they haven't given a date yet when her sentencing is going to be. I think there's going to be a lot of things that the defense comes out with these mitigating factors and blah, blah, blah. I feel like and this is no excuse for what she did. She knew she had mental health problems, right? She knew. And to just do what she did to little Quentin, how much of that can you blame on your mental health issues that you were suffering? Because if your mental health issues were that bad, something By the grace of God, the other 2 kids were okay, but something would have happened to all 3. This was targeted. This was the most vile, evil thing a mother could do, is to target one of her children and try and blame it on her mental health. Because to use something like that, her mental health, I think she would have done something to all 3 children. You know, if it was she couldn't handle being a mom, the white stuff that she was doing made her lash out at her children. It would have been against all 3, not just one. She targeted him. We've heard a lot of things of, you know, from witnesses on the stand that said she didn't even love Quentin. She didn't like him. He looked like his father. Well, you look at the 2 of them, he looks like his mother. I think he resembled her, and she hated herself. You know, we found out some interesting things, that she was messing around with this person she was going and getting the white stuff and stuff from, having an affair there. Was Daniel as innocent as he was portrayed? I don't think he had anything to do with doing any harm to the children or to Quentin. I really don't. But I don't think he's as innocent as he was portraying himself to be on that stand either. I do think that he was fed up being a built-in babysitter and caregiver for the children while she was off running the streets. I do believe that. You know, half the time she didn't make it to work. He had to bring in the vast amount of the money. He was, you know, pretty much checked out. And I think she was checked out too, as much as she tried to portray something different. I think Leilani wanted what Leilani wanted. And if you aren't going to give it to me, I'm going to find somebody who's going to. You know what I mean? So selfish and evil. Evil to the core. Evil to the core. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about how she reacted? Not even one tear. The only time I seen her cry twice. Now, I didn't get to see the whole trial, you guys, but I seen her tears come down her face twice. Once when it was brought up how she disposed of him, and I think that she was crying for herself because they had caught her on video at the dumpster. And the last time, through all of the reading of the verdict and everything else, she only started crying for herself when they pulled the jury. As they sat there and they described how his body would have been ripped to pieces in that garbage landfill, when they showed pictures of his little skull, not one tear. Not one. She cried after the verdict. Yeah. When she seen that her BS wasn't going to fly. Right? She was crying for herself. I don't think we'll ever know why, because that would be her admitting that she lied through everything and that she did remember. She knew what she was doing. Throwing that baby food, that rice formula stuff, not formula, but cereal stuff, you know, stuff you mix with some formula when they first start eating. She threw that all over the back of her vehicle to absorb anything that was there. That's my thoughts, or to cover any smell. But yeah, she only cried once the verdict came in. So, I mean, she doesn't look like she's doing too bad in prison, in jail. I mean, prison's going to be a whole new game changer, but I do believe that they're going to put her in with the likes of people like her that have harmed children, because anywhere else she wouldn't make it through the weekend. So I do believe that there is a section of the female prison that people that have done similar things like Leilani has done, that are kept away from Gen Pop. I do believe, at least here in Canada, that's how it's done. I don't know about the US, but I would assume that her safety is going to be at risk, and that they're going to have her in PC or with like minded individuals that have done similar things, right? But they have not set a date for sentencing yet. Welcome back, Nana. They haven't set a date for sentencing yet. I do believe it's usually like at least 30 days out. So I will be watching for that, and I will cover it now that I'm back on track. Now I know that mom is out of danger of passing away. Um, Out of danger. Thank you, Lord, and thank you to all of you who prayed for her. I can get back in this 100%. So the last 2 weeks is going to be a rough month, you guys. There's not a lot to be made on YouTube at all, but the little bit that I did make monthly did help. So I can jump back into this and, hopefully start making a little bit again, going full force and bringing you guys. I still want to do the update read on the sheriff who shot the judge. I haven't been able to do that, like I said, with mom being, almost passing away on us. My mind just was not in the right mindset to do that. So now that I'm back, I'm good. I'm going to get that read done. There was also another read I was supposed to do that somebody had asked me to do. I'll go back through my paperwork and I'll find that. And we're going to start going full force back on these cases and covering things like we usually do. So the next thing up, let's get going on this. A lot of people have asked me to please get all the documentation on the Sebastian Rogers case. I have it. So let me get that up here for you guys. Present, share screen, entire screen. There's no audio on this, so I'm just going to turn the audio off. Okay, and I'm going to make this bigger for you guys so you guys can see it. Maybe put myself down here in the bottom. Okay, so a lot of people that have got the documents don't have the full documents. They don't have any of the exhibits. So this thing, you guys, like as you can see here, this one here, you can see it right over here is 83 pages. We're not going to go through every single page. I had to take like about half an hour this morning just to redact. The people that do have this did not redact people's addresses. And I feel like that's doxing. So I did go over and redact their addresses, not the, let me get rid of this, not the state that they live in, but I did redact their actual addresses. So where you see and it's not pretty, but you guys are going to see it. I have all the exhibits also. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go start going through some stuff here. And as they mention an exhibit, I will jump over and pull that exhibit. So we keep things grouped together and hopefully we can get through this faster because the exhibit page, the exhibit document, which is right here, is 383 pages. Look at, sorry, 323. So there's a lot of the stuff in here that we are just going to zip through because it's just like stuff that we've already seen with Amber Alerts and stuff like that. So as we do that, I'll jump over to the exhibits so we keep things grouped together so we don't have to just go all through this and then later on try to remember what exhibits we were talking about. So the two people, now I'm gonna make this clear, okay? I am only going over, I am not on anybody's side here. I am not for the plaintiffs. I am not for the defendants. I am not for the Proudfoots. I am not for Seth Rogers or Dog or anybody else mentioned in this. All I am doing is bringing you the documents because you guys requested to see them. Now, this first document, the docket helped me get. And then I, believe it or not, the docket couldn't find the exhibits. So then I started going full force to get the exhibits and then gave him the link for the exhibits because he got this part of it here that we're going to see for me. So when I found the exhibits, I gave it to him, which works out perfectly. He does a lot of good work, you guys. You are so welcome, Nina. Yes, we are. We are surely for Quentin. And then we just covered the Quentin Simon case, Leilani Simon. So if you do want to see that, you guys, you can scroll back. After this, hello, Marie. After we go through the Sebastian Rogers stuff here, we will jump over to the Bryan Kohberger if we have time. If not, if we don't have time for the Bryan Kohberger stuff, because I can go for a bit here today, but this is very lengthy. I'm going to skip a lot of it that's, really not that important. But if we don't have time for the Bryan Kohberger stuff today, I'll probably maybe do that Monday because I have the live reads tomorrow for you guys. So those of you joining in, if you want your very own mini read or a question asked, answered, come and join us tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, where I do the live mini reads for you guys. Okay, so let's get going on this. So I'm going to be clear about this right now. As far as I know by these documents, the only two people that are listed in this civil suit that are being taken to court are Stephanie Jo Trude and Jessica Lynn Seng. Now, from what I know, is Stephanie is the barbecue lady, I believe, on YouTube, and Jessica Lynn is Granny's Watching. That's what I've been told. Is it true or not? I don't know. I'm just telling you what I've been told. So please don't come at me for these documents. I'm not on anybody's side. Crystal, I did talk about that at the beginning of the video. Things are on there. She's on her way to recovery. If you want to see the full thing that I talk about it, you can scroll back to the beginning of this video. I did give you guys an update there. So, and it's a good one. So thank you for all your prayers and thank you for asking. I appreciate it. Hello, Marie, and welcome. Okay, so let's get going on this, you guys, because it is going to be a little bit lengthy. And like I said, I'm going to just skim over things to show you what this is actually about, okay? So the only two that are being held as defendants in this case are these two right here. There's nobody else that has been named in this case. Other YouTubers have been talked about in the documents, but they have not been named or sent this notice to defend. Okay? So the only time you really got to be worried is if you were sent this notice to defend this civil action that is being brought against you. The only two that this is being brought against right now is Stephanie Jo and Jessica Lynn. Okay? So I want to make that clear because there's a lot of people saying that there's a lot of different YouTubers that are named in this suit. They're mentioned in some of the documents, but basically how that is they're saying that these two here are the ringleaders. And I'm not saying this, okay? I'm not blaming anybody, so please don't think I am. What is being said by this action is that they believe that these two are the ringleaders and they gave false information to other YouTubers, and they mentioned other YouTubers like JLR and stuff like that, right? And being that they gave these people, or these people seen these two people's video, that they regurgitated that information. Therefore, they were also putting out false information, but they blame it all on Stephanie and Jessica. They're not blaming the others like JLR and stuff like that. Even though that they are mentioned in the paperwork, they're not mentioned as defendants. Okay. So this is what is going on. And there's some interesting, really interesting stuff in here that has come out. Okay, so the notice to defend has only been sent to Stephanie and Jessica. You have been sued in court. If you wish to defend against the claims set forth in the following pages, you must take action within 20 days after this complaint and notice are served by entering a written appearance personally or by an attorney and filing in writing with the court your defenses or objections to the claims set forth against you. You are warned that if you fail to do so, the case may proceed without you and a judgment may be entered against you by the court without further notice for any money claimed in the complaint or for any other claim or relief requested by the plaintiff. You may lose money or property or other rights that are important to you. So this is telling them, get a lawyer because we're coming for you. I just hate this. Marie, please mask your words. The SH word, just please like put a sign or something in there, like take one of the letters out and put a. Okay. Then they give it in Spanish. So like I said, this is 83 pages, you guys. They list all of the plaintiffs. And like I said, I did redact their actual streets, not where they live, which province, but their streets. Okay, so here is the civil suit. And I am drinking my coffee as we do this. So At Night Media LLC, Dwayne Dog Chapman. They forgot to put Seth here. They just put Rogers, but it should have been Seth Rogers. You guys know I don't like errors like this in legal documents because I worked in the legal field for over 30 years. I don't like it. Like, look at your paperwork. There's a lot of errors in here. I'm not going to point them all out, but this is a major one. When you're putting the plaintiff's names in here and you don't put his first name, that's a no-no. Tony Mathis, Andra Griffin, Brittany Nicole Jackson, Christina O'Donnell, Julia Valenti, Hong Z, and Nick the Hat. So these are the parties. These are the plaintiffs. Plaintiff At Night Media is a Pennsylvania limited liability company with its principal place of business. Because it's an LLC, I did put their address because they're a business, right? So plaintiff, and their addresses are all in here, you guys, but I redacted it. That's why it's all squiggly in some places. I did my best. Plaintiff Dwayne Dog Chapman is an individual in his professional capacity as a bounty hunter, public figure with an address of Marco Island, Florida. Yeah, my OCD is kicking in. Plaintiff Seth Rogers. Mr. Rogers is an individual residing at Clarksville, Tennessee, and he is the father of Sebastian Rogers. Plaintiff Tony Mathis is an individual in his official capacity as national spokesperson for Mr. Rogers, residing in Grove, Oklahoma. And I did redact their coastal codes or zip codes, whatever you guys call it, because with that code, you can see pretty much where they live, because those zip codes go by blocks in Grove. So you would be able to find out around about the area he lives. So I just did it to be safe. I'd rather be safe than sorry. I don't want nobody coming at me for doxing anybody. So Hong Z, I don't know how to say that, is an individual in his official capacity as an officer of At Night Media LLC, residing in Melbourne, Pennsylvania. Andra Griffin, which we all know is Bullheron Betty, is an individual residing in Bradenton, Florida. Bradenton, Florida. Brittany Nicole Jackson is an individual residing in Laurel Hill, North Carolina. Oh, as if Florida and North Carolina don't have enough problems on their hands right now with these hurricanes, but it is what it is. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, plaintiff Christina O'Donnell, plaintiff Julia Valente, residing in Mooresville, Pennsylvania. Nick the Hat, he is an employee or agent of At Night Media, residing in Broomall, Pennsylvania. Defendant Stephanie Jo Trude. Now, she is the barbecue lady. And she is from Claysburg, Pennsylvania. And defendant Jessica Lynn is from Norwood, Pennsylvania. So they're both from Pennsylvania. So they give the background of what has been going on with the search and everything. Like I said, there's 83 pages to get through here, you guys. So we're just going to skim through this. You guys will be able to slow it down and read it for yourself if you want. So the plaintiffs are engaged in the urgent and sensitive task of locating Sebastian Rogers, a 15-year-old missing child last seen in February from Hendersonville. Despite extensive efforts, Sebastian remains missing. The search for Sebastian has been proven far more difficult than a typical missing teenager, as a few ill-intentioned individuals have sought to cast Mr. Rogers as a villain. And this is a lot of the things that they are accusing these two defendants of. Meanwhile, others have conducted Salem a witch trial, like panels aimed at intimidating potential witnesses or discouraging those who may have useful information from coming forward. Some of those individuals uncomfortably close to Mr. Rogers include his ex-wife, Katie Proudfoot, and her husband, Christopher Proudfoot. Others are so-called content creators whose sole aim seems to be inviting, inciting, instructing, and destroying the lives of anyone who dares to search for answers or help locate the missing teenager. As set forth below, the defendants have engaged in reckless and unlawful actions, including the dissemination of false information, harassment, threats, and interference, which have severely disrupted the search operations. Defendants' actions have caused significant harm, diverted critical resources, and impeded plaintiffs' lawful efforts to locate Sebastian. So don't forget, you guys, the only two that they are saying this about, and they are suing, is Stephanie and Jessica. Okay? Please keep that in mind as we go through this. Okay, so the timeline. Now, a lot of this we are going to skip, and I'm going to show you why. The timeline was Sebastian going missing. A true and correct copy of the TBI official updates page is attached as Exhibit 1. Now, Exhibit 1, this is when the Amber alerts went out, the missing person posters. That's what they're talking about, like people that had got together, all the search teams from the FBI and everything. This is what they are talking about in Exhibit 1, the TBI poster that they put out, stuff like that. And that's why I said a lot of this we are just going to skip through, because we've seen it all as this case has unfolded. Okay? So, after leaving the restaurant, we know what happened there. He went missing. After leaving the restaurant, he was last seen on camera there on March 21st. Mr. Rogers organized a search of the Natashee Trace State Park, located 100 miles from Sumner County, after receiving a tip suggesting the family search the area. This is Exhibit 2. So here's the Exhibit 2, where these are just newspaper clippings and everything, where they went out and they searched and what happened on that search. We know all this already, okay? Okay, so then on March 23rd, Mr. Rogers felt a glimmer of hope when the United Cajun Navy deployed a team to assist in the search for the missing teenager. A true and correct copy of the news article is attached as Exhibit 3. Sorry, you guys, I had a coughing fit there. So this is the exhibit they're talking about when the paper and news agencies covered that Cajun Navy was coming around. Okay, Exhibit 4. However, as the days went on, the situation grew more challenging. Mr. Rogers made a public plea for help, reporting that threats, intimidation, and other questionable tactics were being used to disrupt the efforts. A true and correct copy of the news article is attached. Here it is, Exhibit 4. So this is where we've read all this, you guys. We've gone over all this, where they said that when Dolly and JLR were out there, and others, they were interfering, they were making threats, all kinds of stuff. When I am done, I will leave a link for you guys to all these documents in the description below. Okay, so even though I am flying through this, it's for a reason, because I want to get to the parts where they're making their claims, right? So that's what basically most of this document is. And when I got a cough, I will try and hit mute. So going back here, Exhibit 5 is the nightmare worsened when the Cajun Navy withdrew from the search. That's going to be Exhibit 5, which is all going to be, we're going to skim through these, which is going to be when it came out in the newspaper that they were pulling out. We all know about it. April 23rd, TBI spokesman cautioned the public during the press conference that misinformation could damage the investigation. That's going to be in Exhibit 6. And these are all news articles that we've already seen, right? Hello, everybody joining, and welcome. 50 days after Sebastian Rogers' disappearance, Mr. Roger initiated upon a petition on change. So this is when he started his GoFundMe or whatever it was. No, before this, he started his GoFundMe, and then he asked for the FBI to take over the case. And then April 17th, that he hired 2 licensed investigators, and then we all know what happened with them. On April 23rd, here comes a good part, you guys. Retained another private investigator. So let's get past that to Exhibit 9. Here it is here. This is just when they're saying that he hires another PI. Okay. Now, here's something that we didn't know. Do you remember when he got this GoFundMe and people started coming at him saying that he apparently paid off somebody's mortgage and he was doing this and he was doing that? We don't know what he did with that money, you guys. There's a lot of speculation going around out there. And I asked that unless there's proof of something and somebody shows proof, don't believe it. Okay? I want to be fair. I have my own opinion, but I'm not even bringing it into this today. All I want to do is go over the document and keep my personal opinion out of it. I'm not here for Katie and Chris. I'm not here for Seth. I'm not here for anybody listed in this lawsuit. I'm just showing you guys the documents that you wanted to see. Okay? Also, along the bottom, you guys, you can see my PayPal and stuff like that. If you do want to help donate to the channel so I can continue to bring you stuff like this, it would be greatly appreciated. There's also a link in the description of the video if you would like to become a member. There's a direct link in the description of the video. Okay, so this is what we didn't know. We do know now, and it's been out probably for about a week. Around that time, Mr. Rogers began a relationship with Michaelia Cleveland, a.k.a. Michaelia Alardis, who, based on information and belief, was sent to Mr. Rogers with the ulterior motive of using this as a manipulation tool similar to tactics employed by intelligence agents, but without any legal authority. During the course of the relationship, she covertly emailed herself confidential files related to Sebastian Rogers. A true and correct copy of the sworn declaration of Seth Rogers, father of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, is attached hereto as Exhibit 10 and incorporated by reference herein. See Exhibit 10. Let's go to Exhibit 10. Yeah, I want to make sure that his address isn't in here. Okay. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds, you guys, because his address is there. I've got to get rid of it. Hang on. Come on, where'd my tool go for that? Oh. Okay, here we go. It's here. Let me just redact his address. Okay. 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 Sorry about that. I'm probably going to have to do that with each one that I show you because I haven't gone through this one and redacted it yet. Okay, so Seth Rogers. So this is his declaration of why he is going after these two people that have been listed. Seth Rogers, being duly sworn to law, hereby depose and affirm the following. Seth Rogers, residing in Clarksville, Tennessee, declare under penalty of perjury under the laws of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, pursuant to 18 PACS 4904, relating to unsworn falsification to authorities, that the foregoing is true and correct to the best of my knowledge and belief. I am Seth Rogers, the biological father of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Let's make this bigger. It'll go easier on my little eyes, and you guys will be able to see it a bit better. There we go. I am Seth Rogers, the biological father of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I'm making it also bigger for the replay crew. And if you guys do want to go back and read through everything yourself, it's a little bigger and it'll be easier for you guys to read also. From the very beginning, I've been certain in my gut that my ex-wife, Kate Proudfoot, and her husband, Chris Proudfoot, are involved in the disappearance of my son, Sebastian. Chris asked me to get our stories straight about Sebastian, implying that he wanted me to lie. When I refused, they both cut off all communication with me. They've shown no interest in finding our son, and their behavior only deepens my belief that they are hiding something. Every day that goes by without their help only makes me more certain that they know more than they are saying about what happened to Sebastian. For 7 long months, it's 8 months now, I've been living the nightmare of a missing child. It's something no parent should ever have to face. The pain is unbearable, and it's made even worse by the fact that the very people who should have cared, Kate and Chris, have turned their backs on me. Instead of searching for Sebastian, they've aligned themselves with more people more interested in tearing me down than finding my son. I feel like I'm being blocked at every turn by the Proudfoots and their group of online creators. They spread rumors, attack me publicly, and work to discredit me. It feels like a coordinated effort to silence me and shift the blame rather than help find my boy. In the early days of the searching for Sebastian, I entered into a relationship with Michaelia Cleveland. I was broken and grieving, and she seemed to offer comfort. but her intentions weren't oh my gosh, Willow, get it together. Weren't genuine. In early May, while staying at my apartment, Michelina sent confidential CPS reports, documents concerning my son's safety without my knowledge. She later teamed up with Austin Trevor Sweet, aka T-Rev, and together they used those stolen reports as leverage to control me. They even threatened to release those private documents publicly. So you do see, even though T-Rev, I think he's another YouTuber or TikToker or something, even though he's mentioned in here, he hasn't been served. There's only 2 that have been served. Crap, let me hide this. Sorry. So even though he is mentioned here, he has not been served. Neither has this Michelina. There's only 2 that have been served, which is Jessica and Stephanie. They feel that Stephanie and Jessica put all these other people up to this stuff. That's what they believe. That's why they're coming after Stephanie and Jessica. Okay? So Jessica is Granny's Watching and Stephanie is Barbecue Lady. Marie Van Week. My surname I was born with was the Leroux. French, yes. Okay, so here we go. The way Michelina, T-Rev, and their group of creators, people like Barbecue Lady and Granny's Watching, those are the 2 that are being sued. Queen Bee and JLR exploited my pain for their gain is nothing short of cruel. So even though Queen Bee and JLR have been mentioned, as well as T-Rev, none of them have been served documents. The only ones that have been served are Granny's Watching and the Barbecue Lady. The attacks against me haven't just stayed online. They followed me to work, where I serve as a deputy at Davidson County Jail. Barbecue Lady, along with others like Granny's Watching, Queen Bee, and Cluminati, has spread rumors that I'm involved in the red drum of a child and that I am a ped. Okay? These lies have put my life in danger at work. I work in the maximum security section of the jail, and if word gets out about these false accusations, I know I could be stabbed or life taken by the inmates. Trude even accused. Now, Trude is Barbecue Lady. Trude even accused one of my coworkers of being under investigation for time card fraud, trying to stir up trouble in my workplace. These attacks aren't random. They're part of a coordinated effort to ruin my life and make it impossible to do my job safely. Now, as far as I knew, from the time that Sebastian went missing, he took a leave of absence. I don't think he ever went back to work. Now, this is all alleged, you guys. I am, like I said, I'm going to repeat it again. I'm not taking sides. I'm not for the Proudfoots. I'm not for Seth Rogers. I'm not here for anybody. All I'm doing is reading the documents. But the one thing I do believe that I can say is I don't think he went back to work. I do think that he took a leave or something, and then he injured his shoulder, so he had to go for surgery. I haven't known of him being gone back to work, so I don't know about this. Or is he just accusing them of, causing these issues, and maybe this is one of the reasons why he can't go back to work? I don't know. I'm just reading the document. I've long suspected that Kate and Chris Proudfoot are hiding something about Sebastian's disappearance. Their refusal to help and their cold behavior only makes me more certain of it. Early on, Stephanie Jo Trude came to me in person offering to help. But after she met with the Proudfoots, her behavior changed. It's like she switched sides. I only am on one side, and that's Sebastian's side. I want to find this little boy. And her attacks on me and those helping me became much more aggressive. So a lot of people are saying that they're trying to do this for money. That everything in their suit talks about money. I'm not seeing that so far. I'm seeing that he's claiming here that, people have wronged him. And he mentions somebody, getting a hold of confidential CPS documents and stuff like that, and then sharing them with others. Or that there's a bunch of YouTubers that have gathered together to gang up on him. And he's kind of saying here that they are working with the Proudfoots. That's what I'm getting from this. It's like she switched sides, and her attacks on me and those helping me became much more aggressive. This makes me wonder what exactly was discussed during that meeting. In addition to the Proudfoots, there was a whole group of online creators who have made it their mission to destroy my life. People like Ricky Smith, Cluminati, Stephen Fisher, SF Investigates. I don't know. SF Investigates has me blocked for some reason. And Stephen Crabtree have used their platforms to spread lies about me, calling me a child life taker. I'm just going to highlight the words I'm not going to say. Child this and this. These are dangerous accusations, and they have taken a toll on me both personally and professionally. Stephen Crabtree didn't even have a YouTube channel before my son went missing. He created his channel specifically to capitalize on my tragedy, aligning himself with Cluminati and others in this online group. This gang of creators has turned my pain into their entertainment and profit. To make things worse, the Proudfoots recently posed for a photo with Ricky and Stephen smiling as if they were all on some kind of sick joke, They pretended to search for Sebastian, but their actions felt more like mockery than genuine effort. A true and correct copy of the photo taken on or around September 29, 2024, depicting Katie and Chris Proudfoot alongside Cluminati, her spouse or romantic partner, and Steve Fisher, SF Investigates, is attached here to as Exhibit 1. So we'll see that at the end of his little spiel here. The threats haven't stopped. I've been told by people connected to the Proudfoots that there will be consequences for anyone who speaks out against them. Chris even told my ex-wife that if I open my mouth about what I knew, it won't ever open again. It feels like they're using their power and connections to silence me, and I don't know how much longer I can fight this battle on my own. Your Honor, I'm just a father trying to find his son. I've been betrayed by people I thought I could trust, and I am fighting against a coordinated group of individuals who seem to be more interested in destroying me than helping me find my boy. I don't have the resources or the power that these people do, but I do have a father's love for his son, and that's what keeps me going. Every second that ticks by, my son's life hangs in the balance. If he's still out there, every day that passes without finding him could mean the difference between life and death. And I can't help but feel like the Proudfoots and these online creators are helping time run out on him. Their silence, their lies, their attacks. They're not just bystanders. They're accomplices to whatever's happening to my boy. If my son dies out there alone, they'll have blood on their hands. The Proudfoots, the step-parents who should have helped, they've turned into silencers. The in-laws, the ones who could have supported me, have turned into outlaws. And these online creators, they've gone from telling stories to being this in their own way. They're destroying my family bit by bit, and it's time for this to end. I'm exhausted, I'm heartbroken, and I just want someone to listen and help me bring my son home. This is my truth, and I hope you understand how much I need your help to find Sebastian and hold those responsible accountable. I'm fully prepared to testify under oath and provide detailed accounts of these organized and sustained attacks, including the enticement of harassment and violence. Okay, including the enticement of harassment and violence and the continuous threats of to my life and the severe emotional and professional harm I have endured as a direct result of their actions. So then he just affirms that under penalty of perjury that he's telling the truth. Now he's going to have an attachment here. Let me just go slow. I don't want to dox anybody. So he's attached this, completed another day of searching and mapping areas of interest to Sebastian Rogers' case. I want to thank Stefan, Cletus, Clue, Crimson, Chris, and Katie for all their help. I'll be leaving in the next 2 hours to assist with the search for missing fled victims. Sebastian, despite those who are making a mockery of your case, trying to capitalize on your situation, we vowed to continue searching for you and seeking answers. Now I need to go buy supplies to get to the next few days in East Tennessee. So I guess this is the photo that he's talking about. So this is Cluminati. Let's blow this up a bit. Okay, so this is Chris, Katie, Cluminati, her partner, and this is SF Investigates. So that's the photo that he's talking about. There's a closer up picture, I guess. I guess I could have just shown that one. So this is his declaration. Okay, Exhibit 11. Let me just see what this is. I think it's somebody else's where I'm gonna, yes. Okay, give me 2 seconds to redact and I will be right back. I got to redact this, you guys. I'm not into this doxing. Is it this one? It's this one. Oh, line thickness. I think that would be good enough. Oh, I don't want to underline. I want to do this. I don't want to underline. I want to write a line and I want it black. Okay, let's see if this works. Come on, I just had it working. Why is it not? Okay, wait a minute. I'm messing this all up, you guys. Okay, let me go from this end. There. And this. Okay, now I can share it. Share screen. I thought I had got this all done. I guess it didn't save, you guys. Look at, I messed up big time here. But anyway. Okay. So let's go back before we go through this next exhibit. The next one is on May 1st, 2024. Mr. Rogers retained Tony Mathis on a pro bono basis to assist with media requests, allowing him the space to mourn and continue searching for his son. A true and correct copy of the sworn declaration of Tony is attached, Exhibit 11. So, let's go. Here is Tony Mathis. This is Exhibit 11. So he goes through the first couple of lines, you guys, are always what he goes through to say blah, blah, blah. Let me just get this back. Okay, so he's swearing that things are going to be true and correct. Before I ever got involved in the search with Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, life was simple. My wife and I lived in a quiet life in Oklahoma where we worked hard and kept to ourselves, didn't ask for trouble. It all changed May 1st, the day I began representing Seth Rogers as his national spokesman. What I thought was straightforward act of kindness, helping a father search for his boy, turned into a nightmare. Ever since, we've been living under a dark cloud, facing attacks and accusations that seem to come from every corner. The harassment has been relentless. He says to the point that they don't even recognize their past life. Crystal, no, tomorrow, every Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern is when I do the readings, the mini readings for you guys. So you guys can get your own personal mini read or ask a question. That is Sundays, 1 p.m. Eastern. So tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, I'll be here doing the readings. Okay, it wasn't long before I realized that some people didn't want this case to be solved. They're throwing out some pretty bad accusations here, right? Like I said, I'm not for anybody here. I'm just reading the papers. Kate and Chris Proudfoot, Sebastian's mother and stepfather, seem to be more interested in discrediting those of us who were trying to help than actually finding Sebastian. They cozied up to a bunch of online personalities, folks I didn't know existed until they started coming after me. I've been accused of all sorts of things, from being a racist to having a criminal past. These rumors didn't just come out of nowhere. It felt like there was a coordinated effort with the Proudfoot standing by while these creators did their dirty work. It's hard to believe that people who claim to care about a missing child would turn around and support the very folks who were tearing down those who were trying to help. The harassment took an even darker turn when Stephanie Jo Trude, better known as the barbecue lady, decided to make me her personal target. In a recorded video, she flat out said, "It is my effing mission to take Tony the effing down." That was just an offhand remark. It wasn't just an offhand remark. It was a promise. And ever since she made it, she's done everything she can to drag my name through the mud. She spread lies about me, accusing me and my wife of infidelity and even saying we were swingers. It's humiliating, and it's not just me she's trying to hurt. It's my entire family. The more I tried to focus on helping with the search, the more it seemed these people were determined to make me suffer for it. These attacks aren't just random insults from a stranger online. They're part of a well-planned effort to discredit me and anyone else standing up for Sebastian. Trude herself admitted, "It's my effing mission, and it's been my little undercover mission. We are up to something." Ooh, I hope he's got proof of that. I really hope he's got proof of that being said. Anyway, let's continue. It wasn't just about shutting me up. It was about making sure I couldn't help. There was nothing accidental about it. This was organized, deliberate, and fueled by hate. The prophets may not have been the ones shouting these things from the rooftops, but they stood by while the damage was done, aligning themselves with the people who had no problem making up lies to ruin a man's life. It's hard to explain what it feels like to be on the receiving end of all of this. I never wanted to be in the spotlight. I'm just a regular guy from Oklahoma who thought he could help a father find his missing son. But these people turned me into a target. They've dragged my name through the dirt and tried to ruin my marriage with vicious lies. The emotional toll has been heavy, and it's not just me who's felt it. My wife has been harassed, and our peace of mind has been shattered. These false accusations and nasty rumors have left us feeling exposed and afraid. It's been months of waking up every day to some new attack and some new effort to tear us down. The creators who have been leading these attacks are more than just a nuisance. They're accomplices in keeping the focus off of finding Sebastian. While the Proudfoots played the role of concerned parents, they allow these creators to stir the pot and spread lies. It's hard not to see their silence as a form of approval. Ouch. Ouch. These creators act like they're just sharing their opinions, but they've taken it to a place where people's lives are being turned upside down. When they spread lies about me, they're not just hurting my reputation, they're hurting the search for a missing boy. And when people who claim to care about that boy work with these creators, it makes me wonder if they're really interested in finding him at all. I've always said, you guys, when I've talked about Sebastian's case and stuff like that, I've always said, I don't want the drama. I don't want to hear the rumors and the speculations and all that stuff. Keep it on the drama channels. I've never allowed it onto my channel. So thank God. Okay, I didn't ask for any of this. I'm just a man who tried to help. I thought I was doing the right thing, and now my life's been turned inside out. These people have gone out of the way to make sure I pay a price for getting involved, and it's time for someone to put a stop to it. Your Honor, I'm asking for justice, not just for me, but for all of us who have been dragged through the mud by people who should know better. It's time to hold these creators accountable for their damage they've done and the lies they've spread. They didn't just hurt me, they hurt the search for Sebastian. Okay. And then this is the thing that you got to put at the end of every whatchamacallit, right? Okay, so can I move this? Where did that just go now? Oh no. What did I just do? Where'd it go? Hang on. Hang on, you guys. This one. Okay, why is this? Oh no. Hang on, you guys. What did I do? Are you kidding me? Oh. Okay, so let's put this back up on here. Can I? No. Come on. Come on now. Why can't I add it back up? There we go. Nope. Or not. Okay. Told you guys I'm not good with this stuff. I don't know what I just did, but it just made my job a little bit harder now. Not really. I just got to, I guess, make this a little bit smaller so I can click on the next screen. Okay. Okay. So I should be able to just click back and forth like this now because I messed up. I did. I ran out of room. I've only got the 2 documents. Carol says, you've always said only confirm evidence, not just rumors on your website. Absolutely. Okay. Oh, yes, Maria, this is a very... Okay. So where were we? Tony Mathis. Okay, so the next one is going to be... Okay, so the next exhibit is where Seth asks for the FBI, I guess, to take over. So this is exhibit 12. There it is. So we've seen all this, you guys. Like I said, I'm scrolling through it so you can read it if you want in the replay. But this is the next exhibits they will be talking about. Exhibit 13. What is this? Okay, so Sebastian Rogers' biological father plans more searches. They're going to mention that over here. May 27th, this is more exhibits. Here is going to be News Nation. Like I said, there's a lot of this in here, you guys. A lot. Is an exhibit 14. So let's just, I don't have to show all this to you guys, because this is just ridiculous. It's just, they're giving copies to the court of all the newspaper clippings and all that. So what I will stop at is okay, come on, get full page here. Okay, what I am going to stop at is see this, we got to scroll down, you guys, because this is all going to be just because I got to get to the next ones where all the other people put in their declarations, like we just read for Tony and Seth. And I got to be careful doing this. Can I put it over here so you guys can't see it? Hang on. Okay, can you guys see it? Oh, you guys can't see it, right? Just so I can redact. Okay. And I'm not doing this to you guys purposely. This is all just going to, oh, who's this? Okay, hang on. Okay, I can show you this. Okay, because Bullhorn Betty, and there's a couple others that make declarations also, and I want to show you guys that stuff because there's one that says, and there's photos and everything, that somebody came to their door pretending to be an FBI agent and everything, and they got photos of it. We're going to see it. Marie says it helps to have a conversation with your computer when confused, right? Okay, so they've also filed this against Barbecue Lady. Okay, emergency petition for a preliminary injunction and temporary restraining order. Comes now, plaintiffs, At Night Media, Dwayne Dog Chapman, Nick the Hat, Hong, Seth, Tony, collectively the plaintiffs. Okay, you notice how there's a couple of them that aren't mentioned in this, like Bullhorn Betty and that. By and through the undersigned counsel, respectfully move for the Honorable Court for a temporarily restraining order and preliminary injunction against the defendant Stephanie Jo Trude. This petition seeks immediate judicial intervention to prevent ongoing unlawful interference with the search for Sebastian, and to halt defendants' continued defamatory and obstructive actions that threaten the integrity and efficiency of this urgent search effort. Okay, so then they go on to repeat. This is just a repeat, you guys. So I'm going to just get rid of this. That's just a repeat of them saying that they're interfering and what they're doing to interfere, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let me... Oh my gosh. Okay, so this one here I can show you. Okay, I gotta, oh my gosh. This I can show you. Come on. Where the hell did it go? Okay, hang on. Why is it coming up over there? Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, here we go. I gotta stop messing with this because I'm gonna screw it right up. Okay, so this is a cease and desist. Okay. I'm gonna zoom past this. Zoom. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay. That was an idiot move. Okay, let me stop sharing the screen for a minute. Because I have to redact some of this, you guys. This is unreal. Or I just don't show it. Okay, so they're just sending a cease and desist to everybody. They're sending it to, I'm going to put this on my other screen here. I'm going to present, share screen, this screen here, share. This I can show because I've already redacted it. But this one here, I can't show you, but I can read it to you. This is an emergency petition for a preliminary injunction and temporary restraining order. Okay, against Ricky. Okay. Ricky Smith is related to Christopher and Katie Proudfoot. They're saying that they are involved in this smear campaign. They also did a cease and desist to a non-party respondent. Okay, let me see. I can. Okay, let me get past that. Okay. So not only did they send a cease and desist to certain people on the Proudfoot side, family member, they also sent a cease and desist to a non-party respondent Google, non-party respondent YouTube, non-party respondent TikTok, and non-party respondent X, which is formerly Twitter. Okay, so they're going into the factual background. This is just where they're going to say that these defendants have this is where these are the channels that they use to spread this false information. Hate crimes, everything they're claiming here. Encouraging false reports, undermining reward credibility. So, prohibit and enjoin defendant Smith from engaging in any actions that interfere with the or obstruct the search, giving misinformation or dissemination of false information, defamation, harassment, and enticement of public misconduct. Like, this is crazy. And this is against Cluminati, a bunch of them. I'm going to skim past that because it gave some other information. So this is a restraining type thing. Okay. I'm going to bring it over here so I don't dox anybody, you guys, to see what this next exhibit is. Okay, so they've also got this in the suit. This is apparently Barbecue Lady, and they're saying that they're doing all kinds of fundraising and GoFundMe's and everything, using his son Sebastian's name. And basically, they're saying that they're scamming people out of funds and that they shouldn't be able to raise funds for legal expenses using Sebastian's name. Now, I'm not going to show a lot of this coming up because there's some personal information. Exhibit 30. So Stephanie Joe did get, I'm not going to show this, you guys, because this is all her information and that. But we're going to scroll down here to, because I'm at 30. This is all just, okay, where is it? 26. I'm at 30 because he's talking about the cease and desist. Okay, so this is, she did get a lawyer. So Stephanie got a lawyer, and there's some conversations back and forth between the lawyer for this case and Barbecue Lady's lawyer. Now this is from Seth's lawyer to Barbecue Lady's lawyer. Barbecue Lady's lawyers, I guess, gave them a response to the cease and desist. And then Seth's lawyer sent her back a letter saying, we acknowledge receipt of your letter dated September 17th, responding to our cease and desist demand issued to your client, Stephanie Jo Trude. After reviewing your response, we feel compelled to address certain inconsistencies, client's contradictory statements, timeline for legal representation, blah, 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 blah. And they included images, which aren't shown here. So I can't show any of this because there's a lot of people's addresses on there. What I want to get to is they did include, I could show you guys this. They did include stuff like this showing, I guess, people, these are the people that they're saying is ganging up. There's the barbecue lady. There's Katie. I think this is Cluminati. I don't know. There's Judy. I think Judy was listed. Wasn't she? No. Anyway, this is where they're saying these are some of the people who have been spreading the misinformation, but they are still blaming it solely on two individuals, which is Barbecue Lady and Granny's Watching. Because I guess the plaintiffs are saying that without them spewing this information, they wouldn't have had this reaction from all these other channels. Oh, okay, what's this? Okay, I got to get through this. I want to get to, okay, this is Exhibit 40. Okay, so here's the next one. Let me redact it. You guys know how bad I am at doing this. I gotta do this. Align here. Oh. Okay, that's good. Oh no. Okay, we'll just leave that over there. If you guys could see what I'm trying to do, you guys would howl. Okay. Oh, where did it go? Here it is. Okay, so let me bring this back over here now that I've redacted it. So I think this could be, let me make this one smaller so I can make this one bigger. Come on. I can't see my corners. Oh, anyway, okay. So this is Hong. He is one of the plaintiffs, and let's see what he has to say. I think this is the one that says he had somebody coming to his door pretending to be FBI or something. I don't know. There's one of them that says it. That's what I'm trying to get to. Okay, so this guy here is from Pennsylvania. He swears that this is true. He's an author. I authorized the deployment of At Night's rapid response team. Okay, so he works for this At Night media company, right? And he is the one that sends the rapid response team out to help people like Seth when stuff like this happens, and allocates resources. And he is the one that sent out this RRT team for the disappearance of Sebastian. I recognize that RRT's deployment was necessary due to the signs that an emergency early on signals that there were coordinated attempts to interfere with the search. The urgency of the situation grew even more apparent when we saw how certain individuals, especially Barbecue Lady and Granny's Watching, were consistently working to derail the efforts to find Sebastian. You're very welcome, Marie. Reports from Seth Rogers, Sebastian's father, added to the growing list of red flags. He shared how Chris Proudfoot, Sebastian's stepfather, had tried to persuade him to get their stories straight. Whoops. Okay, just stop it. Just stop it, Willow. Okay, to get their story straight about the events leading up to Sebastian's disappearance. See sworn declaration of Seth Rogers. We went through that, and he did say that. Let me make this bigger. He did say that in his declaration that Chris told him that, or tried to persuade him to get their story straight about the events leading up to Sebastian's disappearance. This behavior only deepened suspicions that the Proudfoots weren't just involved, but might actually be concealing critical details that could help bring Sebastian home. By September 2nd, around 7 a.m. at night, was officially retained to assist in the search and rescue of Sebastian. To tackle this case efficiently, I authorize our team, blah, 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 blah. Okay, they're just saying where all these locations are that they have. One is Pennsylvania and whatever. You can read through this if you want. I'm just trying to get to the important parts. They entered into the agreement to bring Sebastian home, and they were hired by Seth Rogers. Several content creators seem to have made it their goal to discredit anyone trying to help find Sebastian. These weren't just random individuals. They were known personalities, including Queen Bee, SF Investigates, T-Rev, Dolly Vision, April Chapman, and others who actively spread defamatory narratives online. Now, I'm going to tell you, these people here, Queen Bee, SF Investigates, Dolly, April, Dolly Vision, April Chapman. Oh, okay. Just stop it. Just stop it, Willow. You can't do it. Anyway, just because Queen Bee, SF, T-Rev, Dolly, April, they're not the ones being sued. They are blaming basically Barbecue Lady and Granny's Watching. Those are the ones that are named in the lawsuit. Those are the ones that are being sued. Those are the ones that got the letter that says you better retain counsel. These other creators that are being mentioned are just being mentioned because they're saying that they're regurgitating the information that Barbecue Lady and Granny's Watching was spewing, and they're trying to prove how far and wide what these two did reached. Because now you've got big channels like these that are regurgitating that information. Whether it was true or not, Willow doesn't know. Don't bring me in on this. I'm just reading the documents, and I'm trying to explain for those who don't understand what this means. I'm trying to explain it. So this is just to prove that, look at, this is how far and wide it's reached. These creators here have huge followings, which means more than just Barbecue Lady and Granny's Watching channels, more than just their subscribers were given this information. It was also passed on to others with huge channels that spread it even more. Their tactics were sophisticated, using tools like bots and phony social media accounts to amplify attacks. They even coordinated with each other to trim videos and take statements out of context, as was done against Andrew Griffith. Their distorted versions of events were then used to sway court decisions, including a protective order against Ms. Griffin based on selectively edited footage. I don't know about that, you guys. I think there's been a few people that have crossed a few lines. But, don't go real life, guys. Don't go real life. Keep it to the facts. Keep it to what, Don't go and knock on somebody's door. Don't send somebody to knock on somebody's door. Don't entice people to do things that are illegal. Don't do it. Now, I'm not saying that these people did. But they're saying what this is all about is these plaintiffs are saying that these two specific people enticed others, like the ones mentioned up here, Queen Bee and JLR and all them, that they enticed them to continue spreading this false narrative and to entice people to do other things and get involved and cause more chaos. That's what they're accusing these two ladies of. I'm not in agreement with nothing. I'm just reading the document. Yes, the initial letter that was sent, I don't want to scroll all the way back up because I'll lose my spot here, but the initial letter that was sent was cease and desist or else. And this is the document that they're going to be hit with next. One of the ladies have retained a lawyer. Good for her. Because you know what? If you choose to represent yourself, you got a fool for a client. Okay? Get yourself a lawyer. Okay. So similar methods were used against Nick, who was forbidden from having any contact with Kate and Chris Proudfoot, despite only having minimal communications with them, most of it being from me or others in the agency. In addition to these Proudfoots, I was involved in group chats with Stephen Fisher and the Proudfoots. One group chat included Fisher and Kate Proudfoot, while another included Fisher and Chris. During this chat, there were discussions related to the case, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, if you guys want to read all through this, you can. But there's really not a lot. They're just talking about getting dog and conversations they had online. The same day I texted Kate Proudfoot and asked if she was afraid of her husband, suggesting that if she wanted to speak privately away from him, she should reply with the number 2 and then delete the text. A true and correct copy of the conversation with Katie is attached. He's saying that's the only communication he had with them. For instance, Tony Mathis, who was helping in the search, became a target of Stephanie Jo True's wrath as she admitted to wanting to take Tony down. When efforts to discredit him failed, they resorted to accusing Mr. Rogers of heinous acts and even attempting to cast doubt on his alibi for the night of Sebastian's disappearance. So this isn't just money. They're saying that all these comments that were made and things that they pushed out, questioning, I guess, the alibi, accusing him of heinous acts, claiming cover-ups and fabricated time cards at the jail. Oh, here we go. So who is this? This is Hong. Okay. So this is a declaration of Hong. Here it is here. This guy who is the one that sends out the troops, right, to go and help look for missing kids from this At Night media group that has dog in it and all that. He says, okay, the tactics used in this case go far beyond ordinary harassment. They represent a well-organized effort to derail the investigation and silence these involved. Evidence suggests a sophisticated attempt to distract, disrupt, and demoralize, spanning state lines involving numerous content creators, lawyers, and enablers. Adding to the intimidation tactics, here we go. Here it is here. Was an incident that at my own home on October 5th, when a white Chevy truck pulled into my concealed driveway at 7:16 p.m., marking the first time in 8 years that such event has occurred. Sequence of events. 7:15 to 7:16, the truck pulls into my driveway. 7:16, the driver notices the cameras and backs up slightly. 7:16, the man exits the vehicle, leaving the truck door open and walks towards the front door. So walking towards the front door of his house. 7:16, he glances through the garage window. What? I don't remember reading all this. So apparently whoever was in this truck that pulled into his driveway says he glanced through the garage window. He then peers into the dining room window facing the kitchen. The man reaches the front door. So this is all within a minute of getting out of the truck. He knocks on the door and rings the doorbell. He notices the security camera and leaves. On his way out, he glances again through the dining room window. He checks the garage window once more before driving away. Apparently, this is all on video. He checks, before driving away. Driver, a middle-aged man in a black Under Armour polo and khaki pants, left his truck door open as he approached my front door. He peered through the windows and appeared to have an MDT, a device often used by law enforcement, mounted inside the truck. I immediately called 911. The Pennsylvania State Police arrived shortly after. The trooper reviewed the footage, took a report, and requested that the video be emailed to them for internal review. We are working under the belief Sebastian's still alive. Okay, in one instance, just days after Sebastian's disappearance, like I said, if you guys want to go back and read through all of this, you can. Just pause it on the rewatch crew. But I'm just trying to jump to the main parts because there's a lot. For one instance, just after Sebastian's disappearance, Kate Proudfoot, clearly furious, made harsh remarks about the situation. What followed was even more alarming. Chris Proudfoot, angrier than I've ever heard, made direct threats against Mr. Rogers and talked about spreading harmful rumors regarding Sebastian. On another call I was present for, Chris Proudfoot declared, "You'll never find Sebastian," and warned us to keep away from him, his family, and anyone connected to him. Whoa. They have recordings of this, you guys. Here's something else that I don't know if anybody's caught. Okay? Listen to this. So on another call I was present for, Chris Proudfoot declared, "You'll never find Sebastian," and warned us to keep away from him, his family, and anyone connected to him. It was unnerving to hear such a statement, especially since Sebastian had gone missing after being last seen with Chris and Kate at a dinner the night before. Instead of focusing on finding his stepson, Chris seemed more intent on shutting down any efforts. This is the first time that I've heard that Chris and Katie were at that dinner the night before. Now, I've heard rumors about it, but this is a court document. Do they have some kind? What do you guys think? Give my voice a break for a minute and you guys chat. What do you guys think? This is the first I heard about this. What do you think? That's what I think, Marie. A farewell dinner? Was this his last dinner? What do you guys think? Let me know. I need a break. I need to be able to drink a little bit of my coffee here. Give my voice a little bit of a rest. He says that's crazy, beyond crazy. That's the first time I've heard about that, you guys. First time I've ever heard about that. I actually did hear a rumor about it. And that person said that they were turning it over to Seth. I think somebody had a conversation where they caught Chris and Katie saying that they had taken Sebastian. I don't know. Yeah, they did go to the steakhouse. Somebody was saying that Chris was sitting at a separate table in the steakhouse. He didn't make it home from that steakhouse when Seth seen him leaving the steakhouse with Katie. Who's to say somebody else didn't go out the back door? I don't know. It's here in this court document. I don't know. I don't believe he made it home. That's just my opinion. That's what's come out in my reads, that he never made it home. That's not fact, you guys. That came out in my reads. In my reads, it said he never made it home, and I've got that he's been moved, but I believe that he was initially put near the cell tower. I did a whole mapping thing on it, and then I believe he was moved again from there. I haven't tried to even figure out where. Right, hasn't been seen since. Yeah. I haven't done an updated read since because I just didn't want to be drawn into this drama. But I do believe that he's been moved from that tower. Maybe it's something I'll do privately. No, not Seth, Chris, Katie's husband. And I did hear that before. I also heard that somebody did. Now, this is not fact, you guys, okay? And I'm just wondering if this is where, because we're talking about this part of the court document, somebody said that they interviewed a guy that worked with Chris, and that guy said that Chris had a 4-day weekend that weekend that Sebastian went missing. That he wasn't working Thursday, nor Friday, nor Saturday, nor Sunday. That's what this worker said. Yeah. But why? It came out in the read, Carol. Sebastian knew too much. He overheard too much. Sebastian, in my read, what came out was he knew too much. He overheard conversations. And if you remember, right near the time that Sebastian went missing, in one of my reads I did on it, you can find all my reads on Sebastian under the live tab on my YouTube page. The reads that I did right at the very beginning, it said that Chris gave her an ultimatum. It was me or Sebastian. That came out in one of my readings right at the very beginning. And recently, within the last week or so, I guess, what's come out is he did give her an ultimatum. So it's interesting. Yeah, he didn't stand a chance. And I did get that he overheard things that he shouldn't have overheard. What does that mean? I don't know. Could it have had to do with things that were happening with him at that home that they could have went to jail for if it got back to Seth or to someone else? I don't know. Could it be because of Chris's daughter? Chris wanted to go for custody of his daughter and he couldn't do that with Sebastian there. I don't know. I'm going to believe my cards, and they said that it's because he overheard too much and he could put them away. No, I think there's some things that Seth does not know. Okay, so let's move on. Thank you guys for your interaction. I love that. I love your opinions on what we're reading, right? So there's that. They go into talking about people saying dog's broke and everything. How can he give and trying to discredit dog, and they go into all that. So then he gives his declaration. So let me take this off the screen and put it back over here, because I think there's another affidavit coming next that I've got to take people's redact. redact. There's phone numbers, everything here. Chris's phone number, Katie's phone number, Steve Fisher, even though he's got me blocked, I still would never dox anybody, not intentionally. But this has all their phone numbers. So I've got to scroll through this. Is the phone number on this? Yes, but I can read what Dog sent to Katie. He said, okay, let me just scroll down a bit. Okay, this is what he sent to, oh God. No, I can't share that. Okay, how can I do this? So, okay, I can do it this way. Okay. No, nothing shown. Okay, nothing shown. I will read you the rest of this, but I won't have it on screen. So this is Dog contacting Chris. He says, I'm Dog the Bounty Hunter, high risk fugitive task force. I'm sure you know we're aiding in the search for Sebastian. We've been informed that you have retained Mr. Fisher, whose cell number is, I'll read you the rest off screen, so I'm not doxing anybody. Blah, blah, blah. He made it clear that he will be in Tennessee. Is he an official investigator? Does he represent you and Mrs. Proudfoot? I'll be in town Monday and it would help if I could coordinate Mr. Fisher to meet with him, right? And then there's just phone numbers. And this is what, oh, God dang it. This is what Chris sent back. He sent it back to Dog and everybody. Consider this your formal and only message from my wife, Katie, and myself. Do not, for any reason or circumstances, contact us in any way again. If you need to contact us, you will need to reach out to Sumner County Sheriff's Office, Tennessee TBI of Investigations. Thank you for your time and attention. So that's what he sent back to Dog. Let me see. Exhibit 3. Okay. Okay. So this is something else. I guess Dog sent to Katie. If you fear your husband and want to speak in a private way from him, reply with the number 2 and delete this text. Then call this number when you are away from Christopher, and we will be coming Tuesday to speak with him. And then she sends back, any communication to myself or my husband should go through law enforcement. Contact them, not us. Thank you for reaching out, because apparently she reached out. I don't know. Okay, let me get this off the screen. I guess she reached out and then changed her mind. And there's her phone number. Thank God I got that off the state. Okay, so that was Katie's phone number again. So we're back to missing people, posters. Oh, we're almost through this, you guys. But there's one. I want to get to the one with the pictures where this guy goes. It says he's an FBI agent. Okay, so this is a letter that was sent to everybody that is a petitioner in this lawsuit, okay? From Stephanie Jo Trude from her lawyer. Okay, so Barbecue Lady, that's who Stephanie is Barbecue Lady on YouTube. Her lawyer sent this letter to Seth and Dog and Betty and all them, to their lawyer, saying this letter will serve as a formal notification that our firm has been retained to represent Miss Stephanie, which is Barbecue Lady. You are directed to send all future communications with Barbecue Lady directly to me as her legal counsel. In addition, you do not have my permission or her consent to communicate with her directly or indirectly, in person or through a third party, without my prior knowledge and written consent. With respect to the allegations contained in your September 16th, 2024 letter to Mrs. Troop, I have reviewed the allegations with her and she denies each of the allegations as asserted. With respect to your emergency petition for a preliminary injunction and temporary restraining order, there's no legal basis to seek such relief to initiate litigation against Barbecue Lady in the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Pennsylvania. And to do so without appropriate prior notice to me as legal counsel for Barbecue Lady. If you proceed with this baseless course of action, we will vigorously defend Miss Trude. Sorry, you guys, my throat is getting so dry. It's a lot of reading. If you proceed with this baseless course of action, we will vigorously defend Mrs. Trude, Barbecue Lady, and seek appropriate financial remedies from the court. Okay, I can't show you the rest because it has her address. Okay. I guess they started, I guess the petitioner started defaming her, or trying to, because this lawyer sends this to Seth's lawyer saying, now that I have entrusted this matter to Mr. King, I will no longer need to receive copies of any correspondence. So that she changed lawyers, right? Barbecue Lady has a new lawyer, Mr. King. So her previous lawyer is sending this letter saying, I will no longer need to receive any copies of correspondence or emails. I'm confident he is more than capable of handling you and your clients. However, I respectfully request that your clients refrain from engaging in discussions or making comments on social media about me, my practice, or the clients I represent. They have already made several serious missteps and represented me in a false light. Please caution them against discussing, responding to, or commenting on any aspect of my professional experience, education, law. Well, I mean, you can't. Everybody is entitled, if you are a public figure or you have a web page where you discuss your professional experience, education, anything like that, and you put yourself out there, that opens you up to people being able to opine regarding you and critique things and look for things. Now, defaming her, trying to defame her, I can see. But you can't stop them from, opining on your professional experience, education, stuff like that. I also strongly advise that you and your clients ensure that any future allegations are factually accurate, unlike the incorrect statements made in your previous emails. They should choose their words carefully and realize that if this continues, I will have no choice but to retain counsel as well. See, that's a smart lawyer. And I've said this time and time again. Those who choose to represent themselves are representing a fool. So the same as myself, if I was to ever get into a legal thing, I would want to do it myself because of 30 years of experience doing this work, but I would be a fool because I'm too emotionally involved, and I was always known in my career to push it right up to that line. I would never cross the line, but I would push it to that line for my clients. And representing myself, I would probably cross the line. because representing clients, you have somebody that can turn around and sue you. I can't, well, I could sue myself, couldn't I? I don't know. But if you represent yourself, you're representing a fool. I've always stood by that. So it's good that she is saying that she would get her own attorneys. Let's see what else. I want to get to this one where the guy says he's an FBI or something and goes, okay, is this it? This is Michelle. I don't know who she is, but she's a petitioner also. Oh, it's her. Okay. Okay, I gotta redact. You guys know I gotta redact. Redact, 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 redact. I want to draw a thick line. Okay. I think I've got this, you guys. Okay. And redact the coastal code or whatever it is you guys call it. Okay. This is the one right here. I'm going to go big screen with it. This is the one I was talking about. Okay. I don't know who Michelle Clubine is, but she's on this as a petitioner. Hang on a sec. This one is interesting, you guys. Because basically what they've been saying in this lawsuit, like all the affidavits we've read through so far, we've yet to get to Bill or Betty. She's coming. And hers, you guys, I'm telling you, I'm going to scroll through most of it because most of these people point out maybe 10 to 12 incidences where they've been either attacked or defamed or something like that, or threatened or whatever. Bullhorn Betty put in like 100 and something points. It's crazy. It's crazy. It makes me almost lose my hair. Crazy. Okay, so the Declaration of Michelle. This is the one. I think CPT. I don't know what CPT is, but she resides in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and she declares under the penalty of perjury, like everybody else had to do. On September 30th. Okay, so she is somehow part of Seth's or Dog's. I think it's Seth. This is either a friend of Seth or somebody Seth had helping him, or a YouTuber that's been helping Seth. That's who this person is. This is on the side of Seth. And I guess she's been a voice for Seth and for the others like Bullhorn Betty and all that. So just so you guys know who we're talking about here, okay? So she's been served. Now she says, now if this happened, this is not good. Okay, I get where this lady's coming from. On September 30th, 2024, okay, so on September 30th, they're aware of this suit, this civil suit that's being launched, okay? The Proudfoot side. They are now aware that them and their YouTubers that are on their side are being sued. So on September 30th, my husband left for work at about 3:15 p.m. Not long after, around 3, let me make this bigger. Okay, let me get me off the screen so you can see it all. Okay, so where were we? Not long after, around 3:30 or 3:45, there was a hard knock at the door. I was home alone with my grandson at the time, and the knock startled me. When I opened the door, there was a man who identified himself as an FBI postal inspector. What? Anyway, let's continue. He told me that there had been some threatening, harassing mail sent to this address. Right away, something felt off. His badge didn't look right to me, and his overall demeanor made me uneasy. As I asked more questions, especially when I mentioned our missing nephew, Sebastian Rogers. Oh, no, this is, okay, wait. Okay, so this is an aunt of Sebastian. So I'm assuming this is on Seth's side. Okay. As I asked more questions, especially when I mentioned our missing nephew, Sebastian Rogers, out of Tennessee, the man's behavior shifted. He avoided eye contact and quickly changed the subject, almost as though he didn't want to address Sebastian at all. Okay, so Buddy knocks on her door after her husband just leaves, which means he was watching for him to leave. And, identified himself as an FBI postal inspector and said that there had been some threatening, harassing mails sent to this address. I guess he flashed some kind of badge that didn't look FBI to her. And this is the aunt of Sebastian Rogers. So I'm assuming it's on Sebastian's side, on Seth's side. Okay. The man's behavior shifted. He avoided eye contact and quickly changed the subject, almost as though he didn't want to address Sebastian at all. That moment set off alarm bells in my mind, and I didn't feel safe. My son, who was home with me, wait a minute. Whoa. Back up. You declared this under penalty of perjury, Miss Michelle. And you're saying that this is true and correct. On September 30th, my husband left for work at about 3:15. Not long after, I was home alone with my grandson. Home alone with my grandson. My son, who was home with me. What? You just said you were home alone with your grandson. Now you're putting your son there. What? So there's a lie. You just perjured yourself, Miss Michelle. Who was home with me? You just said you were home alone with your grandson. Approached the door. When he reached out to shake the man's hand, the man looked startled and uncomfortable, as if he wasn't expecting anyone else to be there. Well, you also said, Miss Michelle, up atop at the beginning of this statement, that you swore to that you were home alone with your grandson. But now you're saying your son was also there and he came to the door. My son usually works night shifts, but he happened to be home that day. The man hurriedly tried to leave after this interaction, and I noticed another person sitting in a black SUV outside. From what I could see, it looked like a Ford Explorer, though I wasn't sure. What concerned me most was how the person in the passenger seat kept turning his head away. The thing is, Carol, that's not how she signed. And look at, you have to initial each statement. Each statement. She would have had to read this statement and signed it to be true and correct. This is Michelle. MSC is Michelle, her middle name, Klabine. Okay. She had to initial it here too. I was home alone with my grandson. You have to initial each, read these and initial each one. Hang on a sec, you guys. Like I said, I haven't gone over these with a fine-tooth comb. Some of this I'm seeing for the first time because I just scrolled through it. But now she's saying my son. Anyway, Okay, so he tried to leave. Where were we? What concerned me the most was how the person in the passenger seat kept turning his head away as if to avoid being seen. This only made me feel more certain that something wasn't right. I couldn't help but think these people were not who they said they were. You see how she asked each number? Like, this is number 6. She had to initial it. This is true. Okay. After the man left, I was shaken and worried for my safety. I reached out to MSB with Dog the Bounty Hunter and Nick the Hat's team to share what had happened, and they put me in touch with Nick the Hat from At Night, and I spoke with Mr. Dog. Whoops. Willow, stop getting so anxious. Okay? This concerns me. If this concerned you so much, why didn't you call 911? After the man left, I was shaken and worried for my safety. I reached out to MSB with Dog and Nick the Hat. What? Why would you not call 911? I'm not believing this so much, you guys. And this is the one I wanted to go over. They put me in touch with Nick the Hat from At Night, and I also spoke with Mr. Dog. If you felt so shaken and worried for your safety as you state, why didn't you call 911? I had seen MSB working with Dog the Bounty Hunter's team, so I trusted them. I also reached out to YouTube creator as CJ in the comment section of his live stream. I felt like I needed to get the word out and let people know about this strange encounter. I didn't know who else to turn to. How about the police? How about 911? Right? Who's with me? I'm going to wait and see. Am I wrong here? Dacia Du says, I'm assuming grandson, a child, would not reach out to shake hands. Right. And she had to initial each one. So when she says here, I was shaken and worried for my safety, why didn't you call 911? Why did you reach out to Dog the Bounty Hunter and Nick the Hat? If that happened to me or anybody else that I know of, my first call would be 911. Look, there's somebody pretending to be FBI here, saying they are FBI. It's not FBI. It doesn't look, no. So I'm, there's these two things I've caught already. And to me, this is all, to me personally, as somebody who has worked in the criminal law field for over 30 years, I'm now retired. This right here, I would never have put this woman's statement in here. And these are the only people she trusted was Dog. And Nick the Hat. We all know who Dog is. Nick the Hat's a YouTube creator. I've been home alone a lot and I'm disabled. So this experience has left me feeling incredibly vulnerable. Then why didn't you call 911? I fear retaliation from Christopher and Kate Proudfoot. Why didn't you call 911? As well as Chris's parents, Terry and Catherine Bowersox, who seem to be financially backing these online creators that have been harassing us. Ooh, that's a fired statement. My husband and I have noticed that Queen Bee, a YouTube creator, has received over 1,000 memberships from an anonymous donor over the past 2 weeks. This massive financial backing only intensifies my concern that they are organizing a larger effort to target and harass me. Well, it's funny that she mentions Queen Bee because, and I'm only making commentary on this, I'm not on anybody's side, but I find it weird that this woman, this Miss Michelle, makes a statement that some fake FBI who identified himself as an FBI, that's a felony, identifies himself as an FBI agent of some sort, and all of this stuff, and claimed to be alone with her grandson, but then her son is there. And then only mentions Queen Bee, that she, to me, this is saying, I think somebody's being financially backed, which would be Queen Bee. Who is Queen Bee in a lawsuit herself with Bullhorn Betty? Bullhorn Betty is also a petitioner in this case. She is suing all these people, right? Oh my gosh, this is just so messy. My husband and I have noticed, okay, so now she's implying that somebody paid for 1,000 memberships from an anonymous donor over the past 2 weeks on Queen Bee's channel, basically saying that she feels like this is a financial backing. It's crazy. This massive financial backing only intensifies my concern that they are organizing a larger effort to target and harass me. And she threw Queen Bee in there because Bullhorn Betty has a case against Queen Bee. I'm only telling you how I would look at this if this came across my desk when I was working at the law firm, okay? Number 10. My husband even asked me if the person in the passenger seat of the SUV resembled one of the YouTube creators who have been causing us problems. I tried to get a better look. What? But every time, I tried to get a better look, but every time I looked outside, the person turned their head, hiding their face. What? I thought you said that you were so scared and everything else, and your son came out and he hurried away when your son came out. Right? When did you have time to try and check out who else was in this SUV and turning their head? I just don't believe it. This only heightened my fear that these bad actors have taken their harassment from online into the real world. The very next day, on October 1st, my husband contacted the Oklahoma City branch of the FBI to report what happened. Why didn't you do that right then and there? To me, what did you need time to do? What did you need time to do? Right? Okay, Marie, let's not put this stuff on there, please. Okay, I'm just going to remove these comments. Hey, Fruit Fly, nice to see you, my love. Okay, let me get back over here. Hello, Fruit Fly. So nice to see you. Okay, so I'm concerned that they waited till the next day to report this to the FBI. We knew this could have been a legitimate visit from the FBI. Okay, so now you knew that it could have been a legitimate visit, but up top you just said everything was off and how he scurried away and didn't want to talk about Sebastian. The only way the FBI would be at your door was to talk about Sebastian, or if you were the one they were after, right? If they were truly concerned about locating Sebastian, they would have asked me to come inside and check the house. Wait, you said that they were an FBI postal somebody or other. Where'd it go? You said an FBI postal inspector that's going to show up at your door. Okay. Now I want you to look at the time between 3:30 and 3:45. Keep that in mind. Okay. Keep that in mind. Let's get back to this. Okay. Why would they come and check inside your house? Why would the FBI just all of a sudden show up at your door and wait for your husband to leave to show up at your door and identify themselves as a postal FBI somebody or other, saying that there was harassing letters or whatever coming to your house? It doesn't make any sense. But they didn't. The entire interaction felt like it was meant to scare me, not help find my missing nephew. They didn't say that they were there for your missing nephew. You yourself stated that when you mentioned Sebastian, they got really freaked out. So why do you think that they would have asked to come in and check your house or even search for Sebastian when they had no idea who Sebastian was? Apparently, it just doesn't make any sense. What has made the entire situation more concerning is the involvement of a family friend, Beth. Beth has inserted herself into the situation in unsettling ways. She barely knows Kate Proudfoot, having only met her once at a family funeral. However, she reached out to another YouTube creator named Duchess and claimed that Kate was her cousin. This connection, combined with Beth's strange behavior and involvement with these online creators, makes me feel even more unsafe. I can't help but wonder how deep this harassment goes. I don't ask, you guys. Don't. This woman is all over the place, and none of it is making an iota of sense. Beth was also trying to sell a fifth wheel trailer. Oh, okay. So now she's going to say that Beth was selling the fifth wheel trailer of Kate and come on. Around the same time, Kate was in Myrtle Beach, only an hour away from her. The timing of these events, coupled with Beth's communication with YouTube creators targeting us, has left me feeling even more isolated and afraid. Your Honor, I'm a disabled woman from Tulsa, Oklahoma, simply trying to protect my family ever since my nephew Sebastian went missing. Okay, so this woman's in Oklahoma. I live in constant fear that these people will come back to my house or that others associated with Proudfoot family will try to harm me or my family. I've already been doxxed online with my personal information spread across the internet. Wasn't by me. You guys know I blocked out all her address and everything. I can't sleep. I'm constantly looking over my shoulder. Please, I'm asking for protection. I'm truly justified in preparing this under oath. If you're prepared to testify about what you just said under oath, lady, you got a problem, because I found so many inconsistencies. Okay, and I do believe the next picture is going to be Exhibit 46. Oh, where's the picture? Oh, here it is. Okay, wait a minute. This is her husband. So the picture is going to be attached to this. So let me stop sharing for a minute. Let me redact this. I got to redact their address because his address is going to be on here. Here it is. And it is the same address as hers. I'm getting better and better at this, you guys. You're going to be so proud of me. Okay. Look at that. Look at how straight I just did that. Okay. So this is where the picture is going to be. It's going to be at the end of his declaration now. Okay. So this is her husband, Kenneth Clubine. Boom, boom, boom. He's just given his address. On the afternoon of September 30th, my wife, Michelle, called me in a state of panic. Hold up. She didn't say anything in her declaration that she called her husband in a state of panic. Anyway, she told me that a man claiming to be an FBI postal inspector had knocked on her door while I was at work. The man said he was investigating some kind of threatening or harassing mail that had been sent to our address, but everything about the situation seemed off to Michelle. She told me how the man looked away and became uncomfortable when she mentioned our missing nephew, Sebastian. The whole encounter left her feeling unsettled and scared, especially when the man rushed off and avoided further questions. Immediately, Michelle immediately called Nick the Hat. Didn't call police. She called Nick the Hat. Someone she trusted from at night after sharing what happened in the live comments of a YouTube creator named CJ, who was live at the time. So she goes to YouTube, right? She goes to YouTube. Here's this guy, fake FBI guy at my door. I'm supposed to be alone, home alone with my grandson, but then, oops, my son's here. And you've had all this time to try and look in this vehicle and everything, but you said as soon as your son showed up at the door and tried to shake the guy's hand, he scurried away. All this stuff. And the first thing you do is go on YouTube and try and find somebody to talk to, like Nick the Hat, instead of dialing 911. Girl, please. Immediately called Nick the Hat, someone she trusted, after sharing what happened in the live comments of a YouTube creator. So she goes on to YouTube and shared what just happened. This comment right here makes it even worse. Somebody, to me, this is somebody looking to be included in this, to get a name for herself and clout. Who was live, just happened to be live. She needed someone to help make sense of this strange and unsettling situation. Don't you think the police would have made, helped make this make sense? No. Go get. Never mind. 911. I got this. I'm going on YouTube. Nick the Hat is on a live right now. Gotcha. Bye-bye. Don't send nobody. I got this. Right? She needed someone to help make sense of the strange and unsettling situation, and it was clear to me how frightened she was. Well, wait a minute. Your son went to the door and scared the guy away. Why are you so frightened? It doesn't make sense, you guys. By October 1st, after hearing the full details of the encounter, I knew we needed to take action. Who sees something wrong with this? I called the Oklahoma City branch of the FBI to report the incident. I told them everything Michelle had experienced, from the man's odd behavior to the black SUV he left in. I wanted to make sure this wasn't someone trying to harass or intimidate us, given the strange online activity surrounding our family due to Sebastian's disappearance. I wasn't willing to take any chances. I made it clear to the FBI that this felt more like just a random on my door. It felt like a threat. Then why didn't she call 911? Why did she run to you? God, there's that crazy guy at the door claiming to be FBI. I gotta get on YouTube. But Nick? Where are you? Where are you, Nick? Nick, where are you? Look at, guys, this is what just happened. I'm terrified. My son scared them away, but I'm here alone with my grandson. Like, it doesn't make sense. Around the same time, another issue began. Ooh, spooky. To raise concern, a mutual former friend, Beth, had somehow become deeply involved in the chaos surrounding our family and the Proudfoots. Beth had only met Kate Proudfoot once, years ago, when Uncle Don passed away. Oh, bless you, Uncle Don. Well, Uncle Don, if nothing good came out of your passing, which usually nothing good ever comes out of somebody's passing, at least you missed all this BS. God rest your soul, Uncle Don. I remember that occasion well, as it was the last time I saw Katie myself. But somehow Beth managed to interject herself into all this, reaching out to an online creator known as Duchess and claiming to be connected to Kate. So another one of your family members that wants clout. Okay. Okay, Marie, we got to stop with those comments, please. Mods, please watch for comments like that. It's not a cold case. And we're not making any accusations against anybody. We're just reading the document. Let's just get through the document. Let's not go on a rampage of who did it, who didn't. Let's talk about who's in this right here with what we're reading. Marie, please stop. Oh, you're talking about your exes? Well, this here wasn't talking about your exes. I'm sure about that. Let's just stick to what we're reading here. Oh, where was I? Michelle and I couldn't understand how Beth had gotten so involved. It was troubling to us that she seemed to be making connections between herself and Kate's family that didn't seem genuine. This was particularly unsettling because it came around the same time of Sebastian's disappearance. What? How Beth got so involved. It was troubling to us that she seemed to be making connections between herself and Kate's family that didn't seem genuine. This was particularly unsettling because it came around the time of Sebastian's disappearance. Felt like Beth was inserting herself. Okay. I later learned that Beth even put Duchess in touch with Kate directly, further deepening her involvement. To make matters worse, I learned that in early May, Beth had been selling a fifth wheel RV, and around that same time, Kate was an hour south of Beth in Myrtle Beach. This coincidence was strange, especially given that Beth and Kate hadn't been in contact for years. The timing and proximity raised even more questions about how closely Beth was tied to the situation and whether she was being influenced by people connected to Kate or Chris Prattfoot. Wow. So after the incident at our home and the growing involvement of people like Beth and other online creators, I became deeply concerned for my family's safety. Michelle and I had been dealing with harassment for months now, ever since our nephew Sebastian went missing, and I can't shake the feeling that something larger is at play. The man at our door, the odd connections with Beth, and the online activity from people trying to interfere with our lives all point to a coordinated effort to intimidate us. What the hell is this? What the hell is this? Sam, why are you working today? Give me 2 seconds, you guys. Sorry, I had to go out and ask the construction guys. Well, Sam, one of the construction guys, he's a young kid. He drives a lot of the heavy machinery. Like, what are you doing here on a Saturday? They're just dropping off equipment because they're going to be starting to pave next week. So I just wanted to make sure because we've had, I've gotten really close to this construction crew. You guys got to know them really well. We've all become friends. But one of their machinery was stolen right off the street in front, just down from my house. I caught it on camera, on my surveillance cameras, my CCTV. They had one of their little diggers. I call it a little digger. It's like a little digger. It's like, you know, those big, huge machines that can dig big ponds and holes and everything. It's a miniature version of that. I call it the little digger because I don't know what it's called. I threatened to paint it pink and put little digger on the side. But anyway, they had it on the side of the road, and somebody came with a pickup truck and a trailer and got it up onto the trailer somehow, and they stole it. It's crazy. So I'm just checking when I see equipment moving out there, and I know that the crew isn't here on Saturdays, but they are bringing in equipment to get going on the road. So, okay, all good. Let's get back to this. Where was I? Your Honor, I'm just a man trying to protect my family. I don't know why people are targeting us, but I do know that we are in danger. My wife has been harassed online, and now strange men are showing up at our door. What? Okay, so this is a little exaggeration because you're saying now strange men. That means more than one. You should have said, and now a strange man showed up at our door. A strange man, not strange men, because you are opining that there was more than one man that showed up at your door. So when's the other times this men showed up at your door? Men are showing up at our door, at our home. We've tried to live our lives quietly, but this situation keeps getting worse, and I fear for what might come next. So the only thing that you have complained about is, number one, I do see Michelle as somebody, I don't know if it's the same Michelle, but I do see a woman named Michelle in all the Reddit posts and X posts and everything else, commenting and putting herself in the middle of this. So other than that, well, people are, if she is saying things that are right off the wall or getting caught in lies, like I caught her in lies in her statement, people are going to harass her and tell her off because people are here to find the truth. So if she comes into these chat rooms, and I've seen her, I don't know if this is the same Michelle, but I'm assuming it is, because this person acts like they are family. And there's a lot of people that say things back to her, but you put yourself there. So the only thing else that I can see is a man showing up to your door, okay, saying that he's FBI postal inspection. And when you mentioned Sebastian's name, he acted like he had no idea what you were talking about. So that tells me that whoever that was that showed up at the door had no idea about the Sebastian Rogers case. So, which leads me to believe that this could have been random. These guys driving around in Oklahoma, where you live, could have thought that nobody was home and they were going to rob the place or something. You know what I mean? This is what it sounds like to me. And I feel like this person here, this Michelle, is trying to insert herself and get involved for whatever reason. You put yourself there. You can't put yourself into a middle of a case and then expect not to be questioned, not to be harassed by the one side or the other. It doesn't matter if you're on Seth's side or on Katie's side. Both sides are dealing with harassment and threats. So why do you put yourself in the middle of that? Because everything so far that I've read, it doesn't, she said it herself. They identified themselves as an FBI postal inspection. There's no such thing, I don't think. Somebody Google that. Where's my girl? Where's my girl? Marie, Cat H, one of you, is there an FBI postal inspection guy that's going to come to your house? Okay, and don't forget, what did I tell you guys not to forget? I don't want to have to scroll all the way back. This happened at 3:30 to 3:45 in the afternoon, right? To me, you don't believe that this guy is who he says he was. Your son comes to the door and he hurries off. When you mention Sebastian's name, he has no idea what you're talking about. I don't think that this person was there from anything with the online stuff. Zero. But now you just put your address out there. Is this your way of getting back? If somebody did dox you, I think this is her way of trying to get even with that person. Anyway, let's continue because I think this is where the picture is. I'm fully prepared to testify under oath and provide detailed accounts of these organized and sustained attacks. Whoa. There was one guy that came to your door, and that guy had no idea who Sebastian Rogers was. So to me, it had no connection to the Sebastian Rogers case at all. She said it herself. He looked like, as if to say, who's Sebastian Rogers? I think these were people that were, you said your driveway is long and your house is like kind of hidden back. Maybe they thought they were going to try and rob the place, but somebody happened to be home. I don't think you yourself said when you mentioned Sebastian's name to this apparent FBI agent that was at your door, they looked at you as if they had no idea what you were talking about. So that tells me this has nothing to do with the Sebastian Rogers case. And then the point that you were so scared that you tried to look past him and look to see who was in the vehicle, could tell what the vehicle was because you know cops drive around in these blacked out SUVs. You don't call the cops till the next day. And this happened at 3:30 to 3:45 in the afternoon. Keep that number. Well, there's no such thing. There is postal inspectors and FBI agents. Okay. But there's no FBI postal inspector. Oh, okay. I didn't think so. I've already got this woman figured out. And for the husband to fall in line with this, and they're saying sustained attacks. There was one attack, apparently. And it's been proven by what your wife said earlier. Number one, it didn't scare her enough to call the cops. And when she mentioned Sebastian's name, this apparent FBI guy at the door had no idea what she was even talking about. So this had nothing to do with the Sebastian Rogers case. Stop it. If she's being harassed and everything online, it's because she put herself in that position. Don't do that. And I'm not trying to victim shame anybody. I believe that if this is the same Michelle that I've seen commenting online, claiming to be a family member, some of the things you say, you put yourself there. You know what I mean? Like you set yourself up to get harassed and yelled at and called bad names with some of the things that you've said. Thank you, Nana. Thank you, Dosia Do. Thank you, both of you. Cat H, thank you. I also brought a Ring doorbell. Okay, but wait, I'm not done. Don't forget, this happened. He left for work at 3:15. This guy shows up between 3:30 and 3:30 and 3:45. Don't forget that. I keep saying that for a reason. Okay. I'm fully prepared to testify under oath and provide detailed account of these organized and sustained attacks, including the incitement of harassment and violence. What? The continuous threats to my life? Where in your statement did you say your life was threatened? And by who? It's not in your statement. And the severe emotional and professional harm I have endured as direct result of their actions. Where is it in your complaint here? I don't see any evidence of continuous threats to your life or severe emotional and professional harm that you didn't include any of that. So this would be thrown out. Okay, so he's saying that he's gonna, okay, where's that photo? Okay, wait, where's the photo? Okay, let me do this. Let me bring this over here. There's a photo. Let me find it, you guys. I just don't want to dox anybody because they have a photo of this guy showing up at their door. Oh, here it is, right here. I got to make it smaller. Hang on. I believe this is it. Let me double check. We don't have to go through the rest of this, you guys, because we just went through the exhibits that this is all talking about. Okay, hang on. I got to get to this exhibit. Oh. Okay. Oh, it's a different person. Okay. So this is, okay. So you guys know when I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong. I thought that this was the picture of the guy that showed up at her door claiming to be an FBI postal, but it's not. I thought I had her in another lie. I thought I had her in another lie because this is dark. This isn't 3:30 in the afternoon. Okay, Marie Van, okay, I've asked you to stop with these comments. Please, I'm going to remove that one. Please don't make any more comments like that. Please just stop. I don't want to have to block you. You've been timed out by one of the mods, but I'm asking you, I've asked you politely a couple times to please stop. Okay? Let's keep it to these documents. Okay. Thank you, Dacia Do. Okay, so I was wrong. I thought this was the photo that they had gotten of this guy coming to their door at 3 something in the afternoon. But see, that's what I said. I just skimmed through these. Okay, so the next person, you guys, is this plaintiff, Hong Z, says that a white Chevy pickup truck pulled into his driveway, which is hidden from the road. A man exited the vehicle, leaving his door ajar, and began peering into the windows of the home. He knocked on the door after noticing the security camera, quickly left. A true copy of the video is attached. So this is it. So this is the guy. Remember earlier when we were reading his statement? I don't know why they put the exhibit of this so far down, but this apparently is the guy that was looking through the garage windows and looking through the living room window and knocked on the door. And when they didn't answer the door, he looked through the window again, then jumped in his pickup truck and took off. This is apparently a picture of the guy. So there's that. Okay, let me see. Oh gosh. Okay, let me redact this. I don't want to do this one. I don't. Guys, I don't want to do this one. Here we go. Oops. Damn it. Okay, wait a minute. I'm back to messing this up. Okay, let me get rid of this. Okay. Okay, so that's what that exhibit was just before this one. And here we go. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is the one I didn't want to do. So this is the last one that we're going to go over. We're at page 236. Okay. Remember what I said, that most of the people who've done their declarations, it's like 1, maybe 2 pages. Hers is like 5, 6, 7, 8 pages. I don't know. So I'm not going to read through it all. So this is Bullhorn Betty. And basically what she is saying is this declaration outlines the profound harm I have endured due to an organized campaign of harassment, defamation, intimidation initiated by 2 individuals. And these, whoops, come on now, by 2 individuals. And these are the ones that are listed in this lawsuit. Jessica Lynn Sang, known as Granny's Watching, and Stephanie Joe, known as Barbecue Lady. Okay? Those are the only 2 that are being sued. They're the only 2 mentioned as defendants. And they say, and here's Betty, Bullhorn Betty saying it too, that they believe that these 2, Granny's Watching and Barbecue Lady, are behind an organized crime campaign of harassment, defamation, intimidation, and that it's all been initiated by these 2 individuals known as Granny's Watching and Barbecue Lady. This campaign was not an isolated incident. It was well-coordinated, sustained effort that involved multiple people acting in concert to tarnish my reputation, disrupt my work, and incite fear in every aspect of my life. Now, I think we know a lot about Bullhorn Betty. She's made herself quite known. But she goes on to say how they've attacked her when she first met Granny's Watching, how she apparently worked with her, I guess, at one time, but something happened, and now they are going after her, calling her a tragedy pimp, a grifter. As soon as she jumped on the bandwagon for this Sebastian Rogers case, she says that there's defamatory statements that are chipping away at her reputation. And in the eyes of those who once trusted my integrity, the campaign didn't stop at defamation. Sang and her followers took things further by making false reports about me to law enforcement, which led to my unjust arrest. And she just goes on. She says, Stephanie Joe, known as Barbecue Lady, soon joined forces with Sang. Trude echoed and even amplified the false accusations, creating a united front. Their attacks were not only calculated, but also sustained over time. It felt as though they were working in tandem, ensuring that no matter how much I tried to move past the lies, their coordinated efforts would keep the attacks alive. Like I said, I'm skimming through this, you guys. You guys can pause it and look at it if you want to, because hers is so many pages, is unreal. But we know what she's been saying, right? She says, together they've rallied their followers to participate in a broader conspiracy of harassment and cyberstalking involving multiple online creators who seem to operate under their direction. Okay? So this is where those other couple creators that we seen mentioned, like Queen Bee and T-Rev, JLR, stuff like that, that's why they're mentioned, because she says that they're operating under her direction, under Barbecue Lady and what was the other one? Granny's Watching, under their direction, but she's basically saying under Barbecue Lady. One of the most frightening aspects of this deal has been the doxing. At this point, my home address is posted online. I began receiving messages that made me feel for my safety. On or about July 27th at Burnt Now, another individual involved in this coordinated effort posted a comment on X, formerly known as Twitter. The post referenced another online creator, Dolly Vision, stating that Dolly Vision would be able to use the lawsuit against me to his advantage by going through my personal texts and details during depositions. So I know at one point Dolly Vision and Bullhorn Betty and Molly Golightly, there was a bunch of them that went out to Tennessee, and they all worked together on trying to find Summer Wells. So what I'm getting from this, and I may be understanding it wrong, but what I think this means is Burnt Now or Burnt whatever. Another individual involved in the coordinated effort posted a comment on X, formerly known as Twitter. The post referenced another online creator, Dolly, stating Dolly would be able to use the lawsuit against me to his advantage by going through my personal text. So there's probably a lot of personal text between not only Bullhorn Betty and Dolly, but Bullhorn Betty and and JLR and what was her name? Molly Golightly. There was a bunch of them that were out there that all worked together, you guys. Oh, what's the other young girl? I forget her name. But I don't know why she's putting this in here. I don't know. I don't know. But I know that there would be a lot of communication that happened with them during that time when they were searching for Summer Wells. Is she saying that there could be defamatory or something in there that could harm her? Or is this girl saying we're going to enlist Dolly to do something? Dolly ain't going to get involved. Dolly ain't going to get involved. I'm going to tell you that right now. He's got Olivia. Yes. Thank you, Fruit Fly. Olivia, they all worked together. They all had each other's phone numbers and everything. Like, come on, stop it. But I don't believe for 1 minute that Dolly would get involved in this at all. He stays far away from trouble, like of this type. He's been known to get himself into some trouble and he's not shy about saying it. But I don't think that even if he had information that could do something wrong to Bullhorn, I don't think that he would. I really don't. Whether he likes her anymore or not, I don't think that's, I just don't think he would do that. Has always been a bully and now flipping to a victim. Oh, I'm not saying she's an angel. Like I said, you guys don't come at me. All I'm doing is reading the document and maybe opining on certain things that I find like, that's a little odd. But I mean, I don't know why she would even bring up Dolly. He's not part of this, so. And just because somebody's name is mentioned in here, you guys, when they reference, oh, well, I heard on this channel or that channel or this channel or that, there's only two people that are named in this as defendants in this lawsuit. And that is the barbecue lady and Granny's Watching. Everybody else that's mentioned in here are just people that they feel have or are maybe backing this bad behavior, as they call it. Okay. This isn't just intermittent drama. It escalated to a campaign of stalking, threats, and harassment, much of which was incited by which was incited by Granny's Watching and Barbecue Lady. And they incited their associates and followers. So I think that what Bullhorn Betty is trying to say here is that Dolly Vision and them are associates. Well, just because somebody else may talk about what somebody else said on a channel doesn't mean that they are part of an association that's out to get anybody. Okay, we're not talking about that stuff. Marie, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. We're not here to do that. I was going to remove it. We're not here to bash any other YouTube creators or anything. We're just going to go over this, okay? Please, because I just don't need any harassment from what's said. You guys are always great. My subscribers are some of the best out there. Okay, Marie, you were just timed out. I just asked that you don't. That's it. Okay. Okay. I am putting you in timeout for 24 hours, Marie. I'm sorry. I've asked you and asked you and asked you. Please stop. I'm not here to bash any other creator. I am here bringing out the paperwork. If I make a comment, it's because I don't think it's fair or something's wrong with that comment. I wasn't there to see what was going on in Summerwell's case, like in Tennessee. I wasn't there personally. And who was dating who or seeing who, I don't care about any of that stuff. But when you bring it real life, that's not good. If this is true, I don't know if any of this is true. All I'm doing is bringing you guys the document. So she is saying that it's escalated to a campaign of stalking, threats, and harassment, which much of which was incited by these two. So she's blaming all her problems and all these things that are going on in her life on these two creators, Barbecue Lady and Granny's Watch. That's why they are the only two named in this suit. Everybody seems to be saying that they are like the monarchy. Okay, I ain't saying that. Monarchy. I can't say it. Part French and part English. It's like, no, I'm not saying it. Okay, monarchy. There we go. I said it. What this whole lawsuit is these two are the head of the snake. They put stuff out that other creators take as truth, which in turn they share it. And that's how it's getting across millions of people. Not because Barbecue Lady and Granny's Watching have millions of followers between them, but because people are trusting what they're saying is truth and taking it as fact, they're then spreading it to other channels who then talk about it. Not, maybe they know, maybe they don't. I don't know. But could be unwillingly spreading some false stuff about people, right? That's what this whole lawsuit is saying. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I'm saying that. This is what I think the lawsuit is saying. I'm going by the paperwork. Okay? So if Seth and Dog and Nick the Hat and Bullhorn Betty and Michelle and all these, Michelle's, I wouldn't even have put hers in there, to be honest. And that's just my legal opinion from the kind of work that I did for 30 years. It's just my opinion. Her and her husband's statements, I wouldn't have put in there because it looks bad. There's too many things in there that will be ripped apart. If any of this stuff is true, it's scary. You know, if somebody is truly feeling that they are unsafe, I don't know, you guys. I have my own opinion on it, but it's not my fight. You know what I mean? On December 10th, 2023, I received an email from Blank Screen TMHT that contained a veiled threat saying, "You better hope your backup channel isn't connected to your AdSense account on your main channel. If that gets terminated, that backup channel of yours gets terminated along with it. Laugh out loud. Molly learned that the hard way. Your time is up. You just don't realize it yet." So, I mean, people saying is sending. Okay, that quote right there. To me, if I got that, I would say, shit, I'm going to make sure that they are not connected. So in case I do lose my main channel, I'm not going to lose my backup channel. To me, is this a threat that I'm going to be in fear of my safety? No. But I think she's trying to put this in there in a way as they're just trying to get her right off of YouTube. But I mean, there's been a lot of people doing that for a long time, even before the Sebastian Rogers case. So, like I said, I'll make some comments here and there that I don't think there's certain ones in here that are going to stick. But if other ones, like if people are threatening her life and stuff like that, whether you like her or you don't, it's wrong. You don't threaten somebody's life. Right? She says it left her vulnerable. Okay. I would just make sure that they were separated and that, you know, I would have I wouldn't have taken that as a threat on my life or anything. I would have taken it like, oh shit, I better make sure they're separated so I don't lose both. Thanks for helping me. I know it wasn't sent to me to help me, but that's the way I'm going to take it. Right? I've also endured constant cyber harassment, and the threats against my life and safety have grown more frequent and more severe. If this is true, it's sad. Like I said, I don't know if this is true, but if it is, whether you like this woman or not, you don't threaten somebody's life. I live with the daily anxiety of wondering who might come after me next. Every time I see a new message or post, I feel my heart race. Turn off your comments then. Turn them off. Start blocking people. Turn them off. Like, I'm trying to put myself in this position. You know what I mean? I would turn off my comments. I would have members only. I would put it so only people who are members can post. And if that didn't work, then just turn off all comments. You know, you can go through your members list and, you know, see who's in there. I mean, I don't know. So there's another one here from the same email. I see you sitting up on your stream yesterday morning trying to blame two creators of bullying you with the intent of making you unalive yourself on a live stream. You're basically saying that BS just to get attention and sympathy. Now, if there is something there that people are doing to try and entice her to take her life, I would have a problem with that too, if it's true. Like, I hope that they can prove all of this. You know what I mean? She talks about her mental health and well-being. Then get off the platform. You know what I mean? Like, should you have to? No. But if it is causing you that much harm to your mental stability and mental health and causing you to fear, get the hell off of it for a while. You know what I mean? So she goes on to, you know, she brings up Queen Bee, who she's in a lawsuit with already, claims she's another prominent figure in the group harassing her, posted derogatory definition of me in Urban Dictionary, labeled me a tragedy pimp, and using hateful language to diminish my character. The actions of Seng and Trude and their network caused me significant emotional, professional, and financial harm. Their relentless efforts have made it incredibly difficult for me to continue my work, to protect my reputation, and to feel safe in my everyday life. I don't see her hiding. Like, she's still going out and doing searches, and she's still like outside of her own home, which she says they doxed, walking around and up and down streets and whatever. So I don't, like, if you're truly in fear from your life, you wouldn't want to go outside your home. You'd have like cameras up and this and that and something there to protect yourself. I think she's in Florida. You have a right to bear arms unless you're a felon. I mean, you got to do things yourself to protect yourself too, right? Okay, Nana, you go and do what you have to do. Thank you for being here. I'm about to wrap this up anyway, so I know there's been times that I just wanted to read the comments and they're turned off. Yeah, but I'm saying though, if her comments, like in her comment section, is causing her that much anxiety and stress and mental anguish, turn them off. She could still do her videos. She could still put out what she needs to put out, but turn off your comments. If it's causing you emotional harm, turn them off. Still continue to do your videos. Put out what you want to put out there. Turn off your comments. Right? Make it that people can't share. Well, I guess they could still clip, but I mean, there's ways. There's ways that you can go about to protect your own mental health so you can get yourself strong again, so you can, you know, put your shoulders back and take it. Like the more to me, the more you comment on what they're doing, the more they're going to do it because they know they're getting to you. Right? So it's like I've had to do it, just totally block people from your channel. I don't like blocking people, but if it's going to disrupt my chat or disrupt, my train of thought or whatever, I just block you. I'll just block you. I don't like doing that, but I mean, there's certain cases that's the only choice you got. Carol says, like the phone, hang up. Absolutely. Absolutely. So let me just see. She's got some exhibits here. So it was burnt toast. She said burnt something else. And it was burnt toast. And she's including these emails that she got, which we just read. I mean, I get it. Block them. Block them from being able to send you an email. Please help support Queen Bee's legal fund. Well, I can't see you complaining about that because you do these GoFundMes too. So you can't be calling the kettle black. You can't, so this is one thing I wouldn't agree with her. You can't complain about somebody else doing a GoFundMe when you're doing the same thing yourself for your legal fees. Urban Dictionary, Bullhorn Betty. Okay, well, I mean, it's childish. It's childish. But is it something that would cause you to fear for your life? I don't think so. But it is like, it's childish. They shouldn't be doing this. Let's see what else. Exhibit 5. She's got more. Okay, well, she put that one in there twice. I don't know who this is. Does anybody know who Nicole Jackson is? Does anybody know who this is? Brittany Nicole Jackson? It seems like it's going to be a YouTube channel because, as you can see here, it says Brittany J, aka Brittany J. Yeah, I don't really go on and watch all these channels. So, I mean, I pop in on JLR and Dolly all the time. So it's like, I don't know who this is. So if one of you guys in chat know who this is, let me know. Because I don't want to go through the thing of blacking everything out. Allegedly with Brittany. Is she like a big player in this? Like, is she a big player? Okay, let me just bring it over here. And I will... Okay, this is the one from North Carolina. Okay. Okay, let me block out her address here. Okay. Just to be safe. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I've heard of allegedly with Brittany, but I've never seen her channel. So what is she claiming? She lives in Laurel Hill, North Carolina, and she's declaring under the penalty of perjury. I'm writing this declaration not as a lawyer or someone engaged in a legal dispute, but as a mother, a human being who has endured unimaginable pain, fear, and suffering due to the relentless harassment and defamation perpetrated by Granny's Watching, along with her friends, followers, and cult-like network. What they have done has torn apart not just my professional life, but my personal life as a mother, a daughter, and a person who values kindness, honesty, and peace. I have lost count of the number of times I've woken up in a cold sweat, terrified that somebody might follow through on the threats that Jessica and her followers have made against me. She didn't just stop at insults or gossip. She looked straight into her camera and told me, "I will make you a effing victim." Oh no. See, this is a threat on somebody's life. And no, she didn't just stop at insults or gossip. She looked straight into her camera and told me, "I will make you an effing victim." Wow. See, if that is true, if this who did she say said this? Jessica said, so Granny's Watching apparently said, "I will make you an effing victim." Apparently she looked straight at her camera and said that. These words haunt me. It's not just fear for myself. It's a gut-wrenching fear that I may not be able to protect my children. How can I explain to my kids that their mother is being targeted by strangers, which is true? If that is true, that's not good. But yeah, she should have went to the police with that. The words Jessica uses to describe me, a lazy, wasteful piece of crap, aren't just casual insults. They cut to the core. When she says these things publicly in front of thousands of people, I feel the walls of my world are closing in. My children have seen me cry because of these things. I tried to hide it. It's time to get off the internet. It's time to get off the internet then. The most painful part of this has been watching my children ask if they are safe. Well, how do your children know unless they're old enough? Like, why would you share this with your children? Depending on how old they are. She says that she's implying that she drives with her kids unbuckled and standing up. So I'm assuming that this lady has young children. But why would you share these things with your children? Like, how would your children know what's going on? That's the worst thing you can do, is have your kids terrified too. As a mother, there is no greater terror than the thought of your children being hurt because of lies and hate spread by strangers, especially on the internet, right? So the campaign of hate has also impacted me financially. Before this started, I was proud of the work I did to support my family. So she's saying that now, like I said, you guys can read all through this if you want. I'm just, like, my children have seen me cry. That's sad, but I hope that you're not sharing with your children, what you feel is being done to you, because they don't need that on their back. But if it seems to me like this lady here, Brittany, is saying that she's not able to support her children now because she's caused defamatory damage and whatnot to her reputation and stuff like that. So that's the last one that I have in there, you guys. So I'm going to just get rid of this. Yes, save that. Oh, no. No. Okay. So we went through all the ones that wrote a declaration What do you guys feel? Like, do you guys think that they're doing this for money? Or are they doing this because these people, except for the one, in my opinion, I think I would have left Michelle and her husband's out of there. But from what the others are saying, what do you think they're trying to do? Do you think that some of these, especially the women, are scared for their safety, for their life? Like, and there's things here. Like, defendant mocks Mr. Rogers for stating, "I just want a divorce so I can start again," turning this into an opportunity to paint him as someone dismissive of his responsibilities, sarcastically thanks him for being so nice during the divorce, encouraging her audience to view him as deceitful, a true copy. I mean, if all of this stuff is true, and like I said, you guys, I'm going to link all of these documents in the description of this video once I'm done. So you guys can go and read it through it yourself. We're only at page 25 here. There's 83 pages in this document alone. The exhibits encompass 383 pages, and that's where everybody's affidavits and everything are that they attach to this, and all the exhibits. What do you guys think? What do you guys think to me, I don't think in this that they're going after money, except for their legal costs. Let me just get to the bottom here. See, they are asking for costs for filing this, but mandating the defendants to inform their audience, including followers, supporters, subscribers, blah, 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 to cease and desist from all defamatory, harassing, or threatening behavior. I agree. Granting such further preliminary relief after trial, a permanent injunction, stopping them from being able to defame them and everything. I don't agree with being told that you have to not mention Sebastian alone, but from what I understand, what they're asking for in here is they just want to stop being harassed, threatened, defamed, defamatory comments, and the only monetary or money wise that I see them asking for in all of this is for them to reimburse the plaintiffs for all costs, expenses, and damages arising from their unlawful conduct, including punitive damages appropriate for willful and malicious actions. So they want whatever it costs them to file this suit and to fight it. So for their lawyer, they're asking for lawyers' fees and filing fees. But like through here, I feel like the relief is basically stop defaming us, stop enticing all this violence and threats and everything else. That's what I believe that they're asking for. Let's see what you guys think. Carol says, I think there's a lot of mudslinging, threatening, and trashing. It's a shame everyone forgot about Seth. You mean Sebastian? It's a shame that everybody forgot about Sebastian. Like this should all be about Sebastian. He's being lost in all of this. Cat H says, in my opinion, it was only a matter of time before YouTube fights went legal. Yep, and that's why I stay out of the bullshit and drama. That's why I try very hard to verify everything that I get. That's why I haven't gone with this sooner. I wanted a copy of the exhibits. I was being told what was in the exhibits, but I want to read it myself. I don't believe it, and I'm not going to repeat it unless I read it myself. So that's why it's taken me a while to even address this. I know a lot of you were emailing me and asking and commenting that you guys wanted my input on this or my take. I read the document. You know what I mean? Did I comment on a few things that I thought weren't right? Yes. But all in all, the totality of their suit is stop targeting us, stop harassing us, don't come to our doors, don't call us, don't email us, don't, they can't really stop you from talking about somebody, but it's the defamation and the threats, the harassment and stuff like that that goes along with what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, you can do it in a respectable way, even if you don't respect the person you're talking about. Show your character by doing it in a respectful manner. If you disagree with somebody, do it in a respectful manner so you can be respected for what you were saying. If you're just going to throw out, childhood temper tantrums, it's like, it doesn't fly with me. Yeah, I had a lot going on too. That's okay, Carol. I got you. I knew you meant Sebastian. I've done it too. Ask everybody here. I am far from perfect. I have called, when I meant to say Sebastian, I've called him Seth. When I went to say Seth, I called him Sebastian. I had their names mixed up at the beginning of this. Oh my gosh, I was doing it every second video. So I knew what you meant, hon. But yeah, it's the shit slinging. It's the going real life. Don't. Like, you see me, I could very well have showed you everybody's address. Why? It's not hard. Just put a black line through it. It's harder for me to do, and I can do it because I'm not computer illiterate. You should have seen how many times I messed everything up trying to figure out how to get a line through their address so I don't dox them. I don't care if others have already put their addresses out there. It ain't ever going to come from me. So, like I said at the beginning with this lawsuit, you guys, like I said, I will link both of these in the description below, where you can go ahead and read these. Yeah. I don't think there was anything else. Yeah, see, I blacked out everything. Oh, thank you. You're such a sweetheart, Kat, and it's so nice to see you. Dacia Du says the child is missing, and that's what matters most. Everything could be for him. Absolutely. So, but anyway, you guys, we've been here for 3 hours, 3.5 hours. I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you, sister, for putting that up. Yes, direct link. My PayPal is across the bottom if you guys would like to help donate so I can do stuff like this more often. Set the time aside for it. It would be greatly appreciated. I try and do my best to bring you guys verified information only. It does take a lot of time to get these documents, to go through these documents. I throw some money the docket's way when he does get me things I'm looking for. I support other creators too. So I don't make a lot of money on here, but the little bit that I do helps. So I thank you for you guys and all of your support. So give me a few minutes once this video is done so I can link this stuff in the description for you guys. I think I still have it. I think I still have the link from when I sent it to the docket. And I've got his link for the first part of it. So, well, I'm glad you caught alive too, Cat H. I miss you. Okay, so for those of you who are still here, if you want a live read, tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, we're here. We're doing the live reads. They're back up and running. I will put the thumbnail up sometime in the morning So watch for it. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you got that notification bell set to all so you get notified when I go live. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys being here. I'm going to end it like I always do. And thank you, mods, for being here and keeping things running smoothly. Thank you all for being here and giving me your opinions and your thoughts and your comments. I love it. You guys are the best. So I'll end it like I always do. Please take care of yourselves. Please stay safe. Always be aware of your surrounding. I love you guys to the moon and back. Bye-bye for now.